Well, good brother, it is time to check the microphones.
And you
Am
literally
I?
have to check the mic right now.
Oh, see, that's the reason we do this because,
Boy, shining bright like a diamond with that light, though. Lord.
right? Microphone. There we go. Let's try it now.
Well, that sounds a
Yeah,
lot better. You do not sound like you on the subway.
right. And that's also why my audio was probably a little funny. But we are here. It is the mic check. The mics have been checked. We blessed and highly favored. Happy to be here on this beloved Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Fun Day for some of us.
Oh, no,
Maybe
not
not
for
for
your
all
boy.
of us.
Your boy had to
You
do
off
real work
tomorrow?
today. No, we got a road show tomorrow. Management coming to do the whole dog and pony.
Oh boy, don't you hate that? We gotta act like we like our jobs.
What can we do to improve? And
Right.
blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying I don't like it. I mean, they're gonna give us lunch, but I mean, I gotta go.
Right. I knew I was about to say, oh, and we'll get pizza or barbecue. Like I couldn't afford that on my own, bro. Just pay me more money. I don't need to do the
No,
rest
they
of
don't. No. I will say they don't be. I ain't gonna say the name because I don't need y'all hating because I be real pro black, and you know how y'all Karens do. But I be they do pretty well. They'll get a. They may do the barbecue. They'll bring in the seafood. They'll bring in the.
No,
Yeah,
I actually joke because working here in Houston, everywhere I worked, there's only one place that they have every time it's time to eat, and it's Rudy's Barbecue. And I will say, not terrible barbecue. I will say that with my entire chest. It's not terrible barbecue for sure, but I can guarantee it's gonna be Rudy's every time and only time. But their turkey is good.
it
Turkey
is.
usually be dry, and theirs is not. Pause if applicable. We're gonna talk about dry meat.
How is that? Oh, wow. That's. I didn't think that's how you tied that in. That's pause if necessary.
Right.
that was funny.
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. While Reggie does the razzle dazzle, we're gonna get right on in to Black women being fantastic and magical. And Gabby Thomas, Tara Davis Woodhall, and Shakari Richardson are the new co-owners of Athlos, the women's only track league set to kick off in 2026. I think that this is
Yeah, man.
good. I think that this is spearheaded by the right people with the right look, if I may say so myself. I can say that as a single man. This is very exciting. Now, I do have one concern with this. This is at the same time that Michael Johnson is also trying to get Grand Slam track off the ground. And I'm not sure if a competing league is good or bad. I could see pros and cons for both sides.
I'm not sure the logistics of it. What I will say is I do applaud athletes jumping in the ownership pool early.
Especially
As
like
we
women in where's you need these leagues have needed help.
as we talked about before, well,
I will tell you, this Athlos website is fire.
I will tell you, I don't know what just happened. My screen just went black.
Oh, well, we'll just walk and talk on through it. That's the reason we the realest podcast in the world.
Well,
I
yeah,
hope
well, I know where I want to pick up off. Am I still choppy or frozen on y'all side?
no, you're good.
I'm good. All right, I
Yeah.
ain't gonna press nothing. I will say that I applaud them for jumping these athletes doing the brand thing and jumping into the ownership track. I do think there maybe need to be a little bit more in the coordination. I'm not gonna say it's not good because hey, you never know. They're co-owners and the league is set to kick off in 2026, and this is a sport that has been starving for some type of professional American footprint, i.e.
Right. Grand Slam.
What we talked about last week. And this is the right way to do it. Just do it.
Absolutely.
You get
Absolutely.
out there and go on a press run and tell everybody that y'all suck and y'all not. Just put your effort where your mouth is. Pause if necessary. You don't have to go up there and say, "What are you talking about?" As championship of what? Not world champion of what? You ain't gotta pull the
no allows.
You
Right.
ain't gotta do all of that crap. You could just go out there and do it.
I do think that,
Sound
and
good
I
to you?
appreciate this being the new era. I mean, that's how we got a podcast. There are things that we did not see represented in other places, and we said, "Hey, you know what? If y'all don't want to do it, we're two capable and talented gentlemen, and we can make it happen." And we have. That's the reason. Like, follow, subscribe, and always support Black creators. So yes,
sir.
congratulations to those ladies. I hope that, if anything, you could do, as much as we in the same boat, cross platform. Maybe you have a interleague. I don't care if it's an exhibition, something just, as you have two really bright stars, you collateralize that as much as possible and try to, high tide raises all ships.
Kind of an all-star type thing, like y'all
Exactly.
best and from y'all league against the best from our league, and then if it catches on, you make XFL, UFL it, and combine. But
Exactly.
I think it's starving, and get no allows out
Absolutely.
there. He can go out there and run and get his shoe deal and all of that stuff.
Please get him a shoe deal.
Actually,
Please.
after all three of
anybody, Lee Ning, Anta, and one. Jalen Williams just did a collaboration with Echo. Somebody call Noah Lyles and get him a pair of sneakers. Get him from Starburst, something, please, Lord. Also, congratulations to Coco Golf winning the 2025 French Open. And this is a flex. Take the selfie with the trophy. I love this. Congratulations.
Yeah, did you see the video she posted? It was like, yeah, we don't actually take that trophy home. They give us like a mini record.
Oh, yes. The little bitty trophy. The Michael Scott
for
TV
reference.
trophy. Right.
For reference.
That doesn't surprise me because I know a lot about the Masters. That stuff will stay with them. They're not going to let you just be out there with them people's stuff all over the world. No, this is not the Stanley Cup. And the Stanley Cup is probably why they don't do that. Y'all be drinking beers and having babies in the Stanley Cup, doing all types of things. So, no, give me my trophy back. We'll send you this paperweight, and we'll send you a check.
Yeah, and so Coco Golf, I got to look up the pronunciation just to make sure. She defeated, the spicy girl. Arena Sabalenka. Arena Sabalenka. There was the number 1 player in the world. Coco is the number 2 player in the world. Old girl said, yeah, she didn't really win. I really just lost. She didn't play great tennis. I just made more mistakes. I was like, okay. Normally, I'll be the mature one. I'll
be the immature one.
I'll try to take a mature approach. Normally, when you have people that are competing for something and they have similar skill sets, right? You get to the highest level of whatever profession you are, and you're going for the same goal. Most of the time, the things that separate you isn't talent, unless you're just like way ahead of everybody, like a Patrick Mahomes or Michael Jordan, LeBron James, those guys. But no, everybody else, what separates you is work ethic, consistency, and mental toughness, not making unforced errors, because you're out there by yourself. Golf and tennis are the only sports where you are out there by yourself. Nobody to help you. You could probably say pitching, because they're up there on the mound is you and the hitter. But other than that,
but nah, I feel the errors and all of that. But my bad, I didn't.
But you good. You are up there by yourself. So mental toughness is a skill. Mental fortitude is a skill. To battle through is a skill. Coco Golf is better than you. She beat you 2 years ago when she was 2 years worse than she is now. Because she's gotten better. Obviously, the ranking show. All you gotta do is look at the ranking. Who she beat. She beat you for her first one. Then she came back and beat you on another surface. She beat you on grass and clay. So that was cowardly of you to say that. That's a bad sport. But I'm not surprised. They've shown videos of her smashing rackets, and she was screaming at her coach, "Why are you here?" All that other stuff, because you getting your ass kicked by a black girl who was out there chilling, not even worried about you, no emotion, just silent killer, kicking your ass. Shout out to Atlanta.
All clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't mind you breaking the rackets. I like when Kyrgios does it, so it's fine when you do it. I support that. But you talking about you didn't lose. Let me make this very clear. Crystal clear. Windex clear. We do not give a single fuck what you think. You got an L. If you look in the column, there's a winners column and there's a losers column. You took that flaming hot L to the crib.
Twice.
However you want, like what Future said, dress it up and make it real. None of us care. She got the trophy. She got the selfie. Hell, she supporting other black icons. The Knicks didn't do it, so Coco did it for Spike. Let me tell you, man, and I specifically did not add you to the podcast. I specifically did not learn your name because you look like a clown. And I don't support clowns around here. Shout out to the winner for winning. No one cares about your excuses for losing. Be safe.
Yeah, and giving real Martina Sharapova vibes. You remember that when she was hating on Serena? So was kicking your ass when you were taking them Nikon pictures from your endorsement.
No. I don't. I try to do my best to forget haters at every turn because you could have won. If you was better, you would have won.
Yeah.
And I think this goes right into the next story where you don't learn. Juliana Pena, she's talking about a story where she really thought she could fight, and she gets into a fight with a 6'3" line cook, and he proceeds to whooping her butt. We don't support men putting hands on women, but if you, in fact, try to fight a man and have the audacity to believe that you can beat him, and then he has to defend himself.
Yeah, but listen to the story. He ain't initiate nothing.
Right. But I also think that Juliana Pena didn't get home and say, I'm a better fighter than him. I just made some mental mistakes. No, she took her loss like a champ and kept it moving. Learn from that. And
she said,
keep your hands
he knocked
to
me down one time and I got back up, thought I was tough. Then he knocked me down again and I said, ooh, all right. I thought I was tough because I was a UFC fighter. Hell no.
Life comes at you fast, and it comes even faster for stupid people. So
she lost though. She did lose. The new girl that won, she's the next Terminator. She about to fight the cyborg lady that got kicked out because of the roids. But they're gonna bring her back. They're bringing the cyborg back to beat you up.
And we're gonna come back with some extremely breaking. There's gonna be a lot of this. Things are changing, and they're changing very fast. Governor Abbott here in Texas has signed a bill that allows high school seniors to sign NIL deals. So now,
finally,
you can be a professional in high school. And I do want to be very clear. Governor Abbott is probably one of the worst humans on the planet. He historically does a lot of terrible things at every opportunity that he gets. This is not terrible.
Traded in his legs.
When we've spoken, I think, over the last 2 or 3 weeks about a $50 billion and a $60 million high school stadium. If the schools can spend that much money on the stadium, then yes, that means that they're bringing in the revenue. If they're bringing in the revenue, then pay the kids that are creating the product to fund these type of places. I think that this is great.
Hell yeah. You know, Georgia's top high school coach gets paid $200,000+ a year. $200,000+ a year. And you talking about the high schoolers can't make any. Y'all talking about, what was that, Buford last year? $60 million. And you're paying the coach $200K a year plus staff.
And that's not like the coaches that me and Reggie grew up with, where you'll teach PE or you'll teach social studies or any of that. Nah, he's a football coach all day. Early in the morning, late at night.
Long. Don't show up till it's time to go to work.
Right.
And leave. He ain't got no lesson plan. He ain't got no grades. All he out there to do is coach football. So if you think the coach is at 218, then you know the offensive coordinator at 140.
Right.
You know the strength coach at 35, 35K, 40, 50K. Y'all
Coach Hill was coaching health
$500,000
during
coach
the day.
staff.
Randy was coaching health. I'd be in his class, and then he was like, all right, know what? See you at practice. This dude here, he's not standing in front of nobody.
No, he
ain't none of that. I'm where you at? I'm in the office. What you doing? Watching tape. What you doing after that? Recruiting. You don't have to actually be an educator at the education place. Nah, we do football here.
And that office be at the stadium.
Right.
Just
don't
like
even know what the school look like. I'm not going. I go there for the couple banquets when I got to meet with somebody.
What's the dude from Hoover? Why you pull up the rest of the stuff? What's the dude from Hoover? Rush Post. Remember him? Then he came to Camden County.
That's a terrible name. Rush Post.
I think that's a P-O-S-P-O-S-T-E, P-O-P-S-T or something like that. He's a wild boy. He a wild boy. Go look up the guy. Go look him up. He a wild boy. That man he a sultan. He walk around with wives.
I'm not even gonna say that must be nice. That must be something and must be expensive. Speaking of expensive, the Atlanta's handed another gut punch. Atlanta loses another walk-off, this time to the San Francisco Giants. They scored 2 runs in the 9th inning to win 3-2. Atlanta is 27-36. At this time, we are now 27-37, 9 games below 500 for the first time since 2017. And I will say the worst part about this, you know what? I am not going to do that. I'm going to let Tom Glavine say, if you look for rock bottom, this might be it. The Braves, 11th loss in 14 games. And these games they're not the losses that you would think that we will be taking. All of them. And I do mean all of them. If y'all could see me and Reggie's tech chat, it will be another one-loss run. I mean, another one-run loss. Boy, that's beating me like the Braves getting beat. And I'll just give you a few of them just so you can understand. Lost to the Phillies, 5-4. Red Sox, 3-1. That was, at least we didn't lose by 1. Diamondbacks, 8-3. Diamondbacks, 2-1. Diamondbacks, 11-10. Giants, 5-4. Giants, 3-2. Giants, 4-3. It is tough sledding, and it ain't looking better. Losing by 1 run is really, I'm not going to say that getting smoked feels better, but at least you kind of know I'm out of it earlier. We are into these games to the end. In this case, the 9th inning to trick it off. Losing by 1 run hurts. I don't have any good.
You know what's worse than losing by 1 run? You know what's worse than losing by 1 run? Being up by 6 and then losing by 1 run after giving up 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th with 1 out.
Oh, for sure.
This run here at the Splashcast, we try not to because I don't want us to get the Grim Reaper tag or be known for that. But we have a saying here. If you keep doing this, you gonna get fired. If you make this move, you gonna get fired. We talk about it all the time. We talked about it with Dan Mullen. We talked about it with Arthur Smith. We talked about it with Nate McMillan. We talked about if you keep making these moves and not making adjustments,
wait. We talked about it with Billy Napier. We talked about it with Tom Thibodeau. Yes.
We know if you
hire Ronald Acuna, they're gonna fire you, Snicker, and I like you a lot. I honestly think that for all intents and purposes, you're the second greatest manager in Braves history, only behind the legend Bobby Cox, which at one point, and you still have the opportunity to be better than Bobby Cox, which is crazy. You win another championship, you're better than Bobby Cox. I don't care what you say. You be mad.
Oh, well, yeah. You win a World Series, then the conversation has to be had. But Bobby Cox had 42 division titles in a row.
But I'm telling you, if he wins another championship, he's better than Bobby Cox.
But what I was saying was, it don't look like he gonna make it to win another championship because he might not make it to the rest of the season.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is a good job to have. Somebody can coach this team. It might not be you, but somebody can.
When I saw that post and they said a dude that that has Tommy John surgery that tore his UCL, when they said he was hurt
AJ Smith
3 or 4 pitches before, and that Spencer Strider had to go to the pitching coach and tell him, hey, you need to pull him out of the game. And then Snicker wasn't even paying, allegedly wasn't even paying attention. That getting your players hurt is inexcusable. Your star pitcher coming to tell you, hey, he's hurt, get him out, is inexcusable. And we already know about the smoke with Ronald. We know you got smoke with Ronald. So, Ronald got smoke with you. You may play, but Ronald got smoke with you. So you are doing these things,
and that's the wrong person to have smoke with too.
And now it seems like that one conversation that we referenced last week that we always have every year. We start playing well afterwards, has happened, and then we went the other way. So if you at 10 games below, and then they do stuff like hire Freddie Gonzalez and say he's a friend, I'm coming to help. No, brother, he is a familiar face to be called the interim. His title will go from third base coach to interim, and then they may even bring back to you.
Somebody wants this job. I'm sure of it. Plenty of people.
Before we move on, I'm gonna throw this out there. Since you said that, sorry to interrupt you. Bring back Ron Washington. Bring back Ron Washington. Bring back Ron Washington.
Or can we get Dusty Baker on the line?
Nah, Dusty 80. He ain't coming back. Bring back Ron. Ron still got a solid 5-6 years.
Hey, I'm okay with all of that. Whoever it is, I mean, Ron and Dusty the same age, 73, 75. But don't matter. Bring one of them back, please, Lord. But Snicker, I hate to say it, you haven't done anything where they can't say, "Oh, we can't fire him." We haven't fired him, is where we're at right now. Now this is really good news for some people. Shout out to Drake Baldwin being named the Rookie of the Month for the month of May. Congratulations. We got something to do here at designated hitter. And this might honestly be the time to trade Marcell Ozuna so that we can keep both of the catchers. And we might be able, Ozuna's, somebody could use this guy. I don't want to get rid of Baldwin, and I don't necessarily want to get rid of Sean Murphy either.
Well, I can tell you right now, Baldwin, it will not be getting rid of. Rookie of the Month, and he's been cooking from behind the plate and at the plate. So I think we're going to keep him, Sean Murphy. Now, you did say this is good news for somebody, but it's also, hey, somebody else will have to move. And at this point, a lot of times people are like, nah, we shouldn't trade him, keep the hitting, keep the bats. The bats ain't producing, one. And then two, we need pitching. Our bullpen is
you gotta, I know a lot of people want to be fans, but you gotta look at these players as assets and liabilities. And if you have multiple assets at the same position, you got to either move. I don't mind them splitting time at DH. So when you're not playing catcher, you play DH. So that's the reason. I think there is a track to keeping both of them. And I think that to me gives me a better insurance policy. That means that we're always going to have a good catcher. As good as Ozuna is, he's only a designated hitter. He ain't really a great fielder, and that's about all he brings. But he does bring the bat. So, but this is the reason that we trust and pay Alex Anthopoulos to make the right decision. Hey, man, something for sure.
No, that's why Snit out of there. And Alex, the only other person after that is you. Once they start firing position coaches.
I do have a solution. We can bring in Najee Kennedy. She is the softball pitcher for Texas Tech, the girl who transferred from Stanford to Texas Tech for the $1 million last year. They re-up. They fell one game short against Texas in the championship, but that's the first time they won a conference championship. That's the first time they ever went to the national championship. I was laughing with the bros saying that, that $1 million was worth the investment. You saw immediate return.
And they said, you know what? We ain't even got to negotiate. You want a raise? They went from 1.0 to 1 point whatever. We ain't gonna pocket one. But just know she got a raise. The thing about Texas Tech is, and I'm glad she got a raise, and I think she probably needs more money, is because she is the pitching staff. Correct. From what I've read and talked to some people that follow fast softball pitching, they said they rely on her all the time. So yeah, $1 million. It seems like y'all getting off a little cheap. Talking to me, y'all getting off a little cheap.
You need a black woman to be a superhero, and superhero she in fact is. Congratulations, Miss Canada. Continue to secure the bag. And
oh my God, right?
Super
Underdog whatsoever. Oh, the sausage is actually good, man.
So for the people who are listening,
for
the people listening, this is sort of a callback. I know y'all remember when we were talking about the New York Glizzy Sippers, and they used the straw they used the glizzy as a straw for their drink. This man here has 40 inches of meat that he put in his mouth as a Dodgers fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let me tell you that this is going to be the album.
Yo, my man is so happy. He got 16-inch glizzy with a pound of fries for $40, which in the whole scheme of things, if you really look at it, that's a solid deal. That's 2 hot dogs and a pound of fries.
Do everything you need to do.
That's crazy, but it ain't no way on Al Gore's internet that y'all just we're gonna watch it one more time. Look at it. First of all, look at the joy in his face. Look. This is childish and hilarious. Please come back and watch this. Look at this, and the man got the white sauce.
Oh Lord, wait, not the tip, Lord, not the tip.
Oh my
man
God.
Slapped himself on the face with that. It did have to tell you the secretion.
You're crazy for what you just said. It's not a group chat in the world that should not be cooking him, boy. My family group chat, boy. You went all the way on them people. You went all the way on them people internet. You stuffed your mouth with hot dog, bruh.
Naked hot dog. I can see if it was in a bun. That's the way that's shaped is a dick and balls. That's shaped as dick and balls. That's what that look like.
Is loose. That meat is on his cheek. Look at it.
And he look like he juggling. And then you see the little white sauce dripping down his chin. Bro, I would put that up at work. You better not ever let me see that. That's going up on the billboard.
Yo, there ain't no way. And
he said it's so good. And then that right there, Lord. Dodgers fans. You may win the World Series.
That's what I love.
Y'all have officially overtaken Glizzy Straws. The Glizzy Straws number 2 now. Meat mouth is wild.
I love about the teams that we hate is your fans are detestable. This is egregious.
I want to Photoshop this with a Dodgers hat on.
This is so egregious. Speaking of egregious, billionaire Justin Ishbia is set to take over for the controlling stake of the Washington White Sox, Chicago White Sox. Matt,
he's all over the country for that.
Let's try this one more time because I just shuffled the deck there. Billionaire Justin Ishbia set to take over as a controlling stake in the Chicago White Sox in 2029 from Jerry Reinsdorf. That is the guy who was the owner of the Bulls, and he owns the Sox. This is also Justin Ishbia, who is brother to Matt Ishbia, who, of course, set the Phoenix Suns on fire in the midst of 2 years. So White Sox fans from the comments are not happy, fearful to say the least.
Y'all about to turn into the Mets. Y'all about to have all the high-priced players, and y'all gonna be good for a month, and then
maybe. I just hate that this is also the black Chicago team. Why couldn't you take the Cubs?
Because the white.
I guess I answered my question.
Myself. I had to censor myself.
Correct. But with that being said,
hold on. I ain't say that.
Oh, go ahead, man. Ruin yourself. You're gonna be just like old Dodger boy.
No. But this man, when nepotism don't work for you, it sucks, man. Like, dog, y'all obviously have proven that y'all don't know how to run an organization. Y'all have driven the Phoenix Suns, who had a great roster, had good players, into the ground. You thought you were going to come and get a ready-made championship. No. And then y'all just have enough money to go buy the White Sox. Maybe, I mean, it might be some good come out of this. They may put them on free TV again if they're not already on free TV. They may do something like that. We can't talk about that and not talk about that. They actually do some good.
One of the things that Matt Ishbia has done, even though they have really kicked his ass. I saw a video where he said he still don't understand the second apron. But he has done a lot of things for the fans to make it more palatable and easy to get, which is good for baseball, but you also have to run a team effectively and efficiently. And that part is surely up for debate.
It's they, and the thing is, it don't start till 2029.
Well, you would hope that that's good. That means that you have a long runway to prepare yourself to do this well, to put a team around you that should be able to help you and prepare you in a way so that when it is time to do this, you won't look stupid like you. And the other part is, I mean, that is one of the benefits of having older siblings is you get to see them do stupid things and say, hey, I ain't going to do that. So
now, if I'm the Braves, I need you to go ahead and take apart this roster and get what you need off this fire sale. Because as you said, it's going to be a long runway, right? 2029. I guarantee you they're not going to go into 2029 with a whole bunch of contracts out the door. It's going to be, we're going to put people in place, which means we're going to clean this roster out. Hey, I don't know who's on there, but I'm sure they have one pitcher. They got to have somebody that can do something from the bullpen.
They got something that they
Alex Anthopoulos, go get somebody. Oh, there's the dude. There's the dude that they re-signed, paid him a bunch of money. He wanted to stay. Hey, go ahead, Anthopoulos. Make the trade, make the call, bro. Start picking this rod. Pick all the pitchers. Any team that's tanking, get their pitcher. Throw your hat in the in the circle.
Yeah. Hey, all they can say is no. That's all they can say.
Yep.
With that being said, this is the end of Mic Check once again. Shout out to Black women for owning their own new track league. Shout out to Coco winning the French Open. Shout out to Miss Candidate for getting another $1 million. And Dodgers fans, y'all are on probation right now. Y'all is on probation. We got to keep
our
Yankees
eyes and the
on
Dodgers
you.
Played last weekend. That was just a glizzy fest. Y'all just out there sipping and biting and sucking all the glizzies up there. They're wild. Y'all wild.
Glizzy fest. I got to start writing these down because otherwise you miss them. And you can't miss those. Always remember, though, like, follow, subscribe. There's only one place in the world where you'll get this type of conversation from two great humans. This is the end of the Mic Check. We are going to come back and be very serious. Yeah, we're going to be serious. Very serious right on through.
I mean,
it is. Hey, this is the
it's serious, but boy, they tally. What y'all doing, bro?
Boy, they can't stop, baby. Rockefeller. We get down. But we will be back.
See, left Hampton off that list too. No, you go ahead.
We had to close. We had to bottom. Oh no, our problem is not in athletics, so we're gonna leave that out of there. I don't believe in telling on myself. Now you crazy. This is our show. This is our show brought to you by brought to you by Dime Team Media, baby. You think I'm what? If y'all learn anything from me, discretion is the better part of valor. Whatever family business is, you won't know from me. If somebody tell you here from Norwood,
yeah, no.
for sure.
Wild though. Wild though.
Right.
Oh, there's a joke there.
No. All right. Hey.
Don't write a check that your ass can't cash. Well,
All right. That was thing.
Just caught me all off guard. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 194 to Splashcast, Monday Night Raw.
That's what you get. That's what you get for being messy. You
Hey, Mom, that's you.
Don't write a check that your ass can't.
That was you. You're the check, bro.
That's me.
You're
That
the
was
check.
me.
You're
That
terrible.
was me. That was me. That was me.
Y'all know what it is. Monday Night Raw. I am your co-host Reggie.
I'm your co-host Norwood, and we are here. We started the episode and then restarted the episode, and the episode is now here. How about that? Let's
Y'all know what it is on episode 194 of the Splashcast. We do HBCU news around the culture, followed by whatever is in season, which is either hoops or football, and then we round it out, which is not in season. So HBCU, hoops, football coming up, man. We got a few things we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna be let's go to law school real quick. We got some things to talk about. Stealing is bad.
Yes. So the first part we don't actually have a photo for, because the only photo I could find was her headshot from work, and I'm not going to use that. And she doesn't have a mugshot. Reggie and I have been covering FAMU specifically for about 2 years, and it seems like they've gone through quite a myriad of issues. They've had the fake donation. They had the Willie Simmons, Tiffany, Dawn Sykes fiasco. They have recently hired a new athletic director. And then this morning, Angela Suggs, this is the same lady from last week who was telling y'all that FAMU is based out of Atlanta, turned herself into the Leon County Jail on Monday to face charges of fraud and larceny. To report to Tallahassee TV, WCTV. This is and the issue itself is bad, but when the charges are fraud and larceny, and now you're the athletic director of an HBCU. Who this is bad at the wrong time. But I guess my confusion is how do you hire a person if they're facing these type of charges? Do you not know that?
That was my question. Through this whole ordeal, that's why I said, what the hell y'all doing down there in Tally? If you have a warrant for your arrest, unless it's under another name, a false ID, an alias, if you will. That's the word I was looking for. How you have to run a background check,
right?
You have to run a federal background check. Oh, I thought you did. So that means you hired her. First off, now I'm gonna say it's not funny, but I need to know her interview skills, because for her to talk her way through this, through the background check for this, and get hired,
magical.
It's wild, and it comes on the back of you talking shit. You, right. Hey, no, I can check that your ass can't cash. Hey, right. You was out there yesterday with MVSU talking about we playing coming to Atlanta, FAMU, whatever you said. I'm telling you right now, if I'm Mississippi Valley State, I'm coming out there in jail uniforms saying, this what y'all really look like. Didn't y'all get suspended? See,
this is where it's dangerous to be in the social media era, because I'm telling you, if this was Hampton, boy, we would have a full-length mini movie. We would have put your Tubi movie out about your larceny and fraud, and we would have been on every social media platform. Oh, Atlanta's your city, huh? You stole that city too, huh? Must have been how you got. The opportunities with this are truly endless. Yeah, ain't no way.
FAMU is gonna have to go through a cleanup. They because you're the largest HBCU, I believe. Either them or A&T.
Yeah, but this is my thing: is at every turn, your administration looks stupid. Oh, y'all didn't know that man didn't have the money. Y'all ran off $200 million.
He had no teeth.
Then on top of that, y'all get the lady who's the new president. She's a Trump supporter. She don't support DEI. It's too many now. It's too many. And that's the part that I do love about this platform is we can come here and we can have these very honest conversations. We hope to uplift our community, but at the same time, how my grandma say, enough is enough and too much stink. This, we've got to a point where it's out of control. You're embarrassing all of us at this point.
And you're not only embarrassing us, y'all appointed the lady to be the new president. That's what DeSantis, because they had a leg to stand on when it came to usurping power. Because we not running the organization how it's supposed to be run.
Right.
So they could come in and say, hey, we taking over because y'all have had, as Norwood just laid out, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, Y, J in the last 2 years. Y'all have had 26 different cases. Y'all got to do better enough so that they can leave you alone. You ain't never, y'all been audited before? Y'all don't like being audited. See, some of y'all got to go through an audit. Go through an audit and understand what it's like to go through an audit. Once you do that, you're not gonna like having the microscope on you all the time for everything you do.
That ain't gonna be the answer. You know what the answer is gonna be? When somebody lose some money. And LeBron got his name plastered all over FAMU. But I'm gonna tell you right now, as a person who's gone to the highest heights to make sure that he protects his brand and his name, I mean, at what point does he say, hey man, this conduct detrimental to my brand, I'm going a different direction here? And unfortunately, you've done so many things so tragically that I'm not sure if he will be wrong.
I hope he doesn't. I hope,
but he wouldn't be wrong.
No, he wouldn't.
Y'all won't play. Y'all won't play with Dive Team Media like this. Let me tell you that much.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about that little. I know it's $150 book scholarship, but you ain't got to worry about it, big dog. We're gonna send that right on over.
That money will be the Edward Waters by the end of the day, brother. You won't get it. You won't see
Send it
my
right on
money
over to
never again.
Claflin and Benedict. You send it right
Bro,
to Benedict, bro.
are
We
you
ain't got no problem.
crazy? Now, and FAMU individually is just in a different place. I'm not gonna say I'm the first person to say that things happen at all universities. I'm not even putting this on HBCUs. I think that a lot of times we get hit with things that I think that across secondary education hit everybody. But y'all on like 8. You back in the principal's office again? Speaking of people being in the principal's
office, bro. Texas Southern University athletic director has been placed on leave following a sexual assault allegation. Kevin Granger is his name. The allegation came in June. I'm sorry, the allegation came earlier, and he has been suspended as of in June until the process has run its course, the legal process. I will say, I think the assailant, not assailant, because he be the assailant. I think the accuser is represented by Busby. So take with that what you will.
Yeah, at this point, we don't have anything to report other than that there was an accusation. I mean, I'm gonna say this because I feel strongly. Y'all got to control your horny at work, though. If there was anything, period, across the board, you wrong.
Man, just live your truth, dog.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You live your truth after at 5:01. You get in your car, you take your mask off, then you can.
Yeah, man.
That's a terrible term to use. But what I'm saying is 5:01.
Clear the runway. You got it, brother.
5:01, you get in your car and become whoever you want to. At that point, to me, it's a judgment-free zone. But the reason it's judgment-free is I don't want to hear about it. I don't care about what you do.
We'll keep our eyes on this one. There hasn't been much news since that dropped, actually. And there are people on both sides. Standing on both sides and not giving in and saying we want to get to the truth. So when the truth comes out,
and that's what we all want.
One of the first to tell you. Moving on to some positive news. Let's get out of where we are now. The leaving law school. Shout out to the Black College Football Hall of Fame class of 2025, enshrined 6 members: Henry Dyer from Grambling State, Rasheem Mathis from DB from Bethune-Cookman. I know y'all remember him. Jaquay Nunnally, wide receiver from FAMU, DRC, Dominique Rogers-Cromartie from Tennessee State, Jay Walker, quarterback from Howard. Shout out to Jay. And Coach Fred Pop Long from that coached at Wiley. Congratulations to those 6. I need the applause button to those 6 inductees. It was a great ceremony. They also unveiled they're unveiling the remodeled HBCU exhibit at the College Football Hall of Fame. So they were able to see that. So this was fantastic and it's awesome, man. This shout out to Jay Walker, even though he went to Howard. He's been doing well. He's probably gonna get inducted twice for quarterback and being one of the pioneering media personalities.
I have a funny story. I have a close friend who is not the biggest fan.
It's hilarious. I know
it's hilarious.
He be talking on TV and be bigging up his Howard team from 1990, 91 all the time.
Yeah. And my friend is not. Him and Jay.
All he talk about.
Him and Jay, old boy. And I'm a little peek behind the curtain here. And as soon as I saw Jay, that's the first thing I did. I said, "Hey, your boy was just elected to the Hall of Fame." I ain't gonna tell y'all what he said, but you can imagine what you would say if you don't like a person and they got anything.
Moving on. Norfolk State and Delaware State are playing at Lincoln Financial Field this October. If you know, Lincoln Financial Field is the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. Norfolk State is coached by former Philadelphia Eagle quarterback Mike Vick, and Delaware State is coached by former, and I would say, Eagle great wide receiver
Yeah,
Deshaun Jackson,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
they are playing against each other in Philly. I will say my daughter just poured out all of her toys. My wife is big mad
Oh,
because she's supposed to
oh,
be in the bed.
oh, hey.
Ooh, can y'all hear? Now, Kyriel, I know you lost your mind. All right, back to it. This is great because
Free
shout out to
read.
Philly. Shout out to Philly. Shout out. As much as they are our NFC rival, because we always seem to play them in the playoffs. Philadelphia is starting to become a model organization of how things are supposed to be done. I think Baltimore has had that for most of the time, just maybe not the best decisions when it comes to wide receivers, bang, 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 but it is a very good, it is a very well-run organization. Conversely, Cincinnati is not. But Philadelphia, for the things that they do on the field and the decisions that they make on the field, it seems like every decision that they make off the field makes sense and builds their brand too. Whoever this entire family, this entire organization gets 2 thumbs up for this move. This is reading the room. This is going to bring in so many other people, and you're probably going to get people that are sick of being fans of their teams and going to transplant to the Eagles like our friend did, who's part of the Splashcast versus the world. I remember him. He was a
So
Minnesota Vikings fan.
there are a couple
Bang,
things
bang.
here. I think that this is dope. Number one, I want to shout out to Jeffrey Lurie and the Lurie family. Being a person who's worked in facilities, you have to make this facility available to these schools. They don't, you don't just get to call them like, hey, I need this. No, he is. And one of the things that I've spoken about is everybody claims to be an ally, but at best, they just kind of recognize you. It's the people who actually put the action behind things that truly impress me. And for him to make this stadium available for 2 HBCUs to play, I think is excellent. I think he's doing great by his former players. This is knocked out of the park. And I appreciate it. I wish the NFL would find a way to support. Y'all probably are due for a little bit of work with Black people instead of just working Black people. So I want to thank the Lurie family and congratulations to Mike and Deshaun for this opportunity. I know it's going to be crazy in that Philly area because, Norfolk State surely will make that short trip. And Delaware State is literally around the corner. So this is exciting. But once again, I just support people truly being allies and putting their money and time.
Yeah, you made that good point. Because this was not scheduled, right?
No.
When I say not scheduled, they didn't normally when you have these games, they're planned out years in advance. No, the schedule came out and they was like, hey, y'all want to play in Philly?
Yeah, this is a
y'all
call. Hey,
Philly?
man.
All right, cool.
Can you get us
let's play in
straight?
Philly.
Yeah, by the way.
And Philly was like, yeah, we got you. Don't worry about it. We off. Y'all play. We off. Y'all want to do it? Or, matter of fact, this may have been a call from Philly. Now, this is conspiracy theory until we go to the next thing. Calling the NFL like, we have an opportunity. These two guys play each other. Go ahead and give us an away game on this week. Or bye week.
Whatever it is, thank you. Because we need more of these. Now, it is also y'all responsibility to cut the damn game on. Even if you ain't in the house, cut the damn game on. And if you close enough, take your ass to the game and support Deshaun, support Mike, and support these HBCUs.
Virginia going to be there. They ain't got no protein. They going to be there for real.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Hey, Allen Iverson, take your ass on out there, too.
Reebok, y'all should sponsor this. Reebok should sponsor this.
Right.
Ooh, see, we be thinking, bro. We be thinking.
There is a ton of opportunity here.
Oh my God, bro! It is World War III. I feel like I'm ducking bombs, bro. 2020. Let's move on so I can get me a drink. Damn it. 2025 Celebration Bowl will air on ABC. This has been part of a continued effort from ESPN, ABC, Disney to air HBCU games, rivalries, and of the sort. This game will be December 13th, 2025 at noon. Y'all know I'm gonna be there. The 10th edition of the Celebration Bowl will be on the ESPN app and is between the MEAC and SWAC champion. You already know. The MEAC leads the series 6-3, but the SWAC has won the last 2 in a row, with Jackson State being the most recent winner.
And once again, shout out to Arthur Blank. You know, we just talked about Mississippi Valley State and FAMU moving to the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Then you have the Celebration Bowl. You know, they say what you want to about how many games we win or lose. Say what you want to about Arthur Blanket as an owner and the way that he manages and chooses coaches. All of that aside, he does do a lot more than the majority of NFL owners when it comes to supporting HBCUs. You know, he brought in I can't think of the minority owner. I want to call him Rashawn Ali, but that's not his name.
No, dude from Clark. I know you're talking about.
Right.
Or is it Morehouse?
Morehouse. He's
Get that wrong.
Yes.
Jesus, don't need y'all in the inbox.
Get in the inbox. I don't care. Don't care. But I appreciate people who actually do actions. It's one of the things that we've talked about in the group chat of you see people who want to talk about things, but you don't actually see them putting the actions and efforts. I am big on actions and efforts. You can tell me anything, but you can only show me one thing at a time. And that is what I'm more interested in. And yeah, Reggie will be there, and December 13th, possibly, I'll be there. Yeah. We're going to see.
Hey man, well, we know one team that may not be there. It is North Carolina A&T. They are in the CAA now, and they were 1-11 last year. But again, we talk about the transfer portal and how it is the great equalizer and cuts down on your turnaround time. They have signed Big Ten transfer Champ Long from Maryland, quarterback. Both of their starters, KJ White and Austin Hooker, are out. Long brings much needed help to the Aggies quarterback room. And let me tell you, even if they weren't hurt, they 1-11. Right. He had a great high school career, but he didn't play a lot because, of course, the depth chart in Maryland. So he's now coming to an HBCU. He is black, and he hopefully will turn around North Carolina A&T.
Yes, I really like this for a couple reasons. Number one, it's an opportunity to play football, to get a chance. I also think that Maryland is uniquely in a position to kind of be the intermediary for these type of things. Of course, Coach Loxley is a black coach, former Hampton quarterback, and Coach Latrell Scott I think he's the running backs or the receivers coach for Maryland. And there's just an infinite opportunity between the two, specifically being in the DMV, where, hey, if it doesn't work here, it's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. We can find a place for you to go in the mid-Atlantic on the East Coast for you to get to a HBCU and finish your education. Hell, make you some NIL money. And you know, play football again. So that's infinitely exciting for me. And I mean, they need quarterback help. So yeah, roll the dice to see what it looks like.
Yeah, man, can't hurt. Man, some sad news. Fisk University announces the discontinuation of its historic gymnastics team. We've been covering this since its inception. We try to champion all the HBCUs that bring new sports to their institutions. We talked about Hampton. We talked about rugby and field hockey and all of the things, rugby for Howard and swimming and all of the things. But Fisk, with their gymnastics team, they were winning and they were making history. The reason that they said that they had to discontinue was because the gymnastics team is not sanctioned by the conference. So they actually had to put up all the money for them to go compete. And it actually wasn't a conference or it wasn't recognized. So as a result, they had to make a decision. Well, do we try to continue with this, but we're not really getting any return back, or do we cut the program? Unfortunately, they cut the program. But hey, this is an opportunity. Alumni, if you want to see it happen.
Which is unfortunate because they won against some D1 schools. They had Morgan Price, who repeated as the 2025 USA Gymnastics all-around champ. So it's not even that they can't put together a competitive or winning program. It's just that they're not sanctioned. This is super unfortunate to me. Fisk is in Tennessee, correct? This is another place where we have underfunded HBCUs where y'all probably could just pay them the money and they could probably make this work. So it's immensely frustrating, especially when you start a team. The team is good. The team beats teams who they don't think that most people don't think you should be beating. And you have a back-to-back champ. And then you have discontinue the team. That's heartbreaking. I don't have any other way to say it. Congratulations to these ladies who, at least for this small portion of time, created a legacy, did something that should be remembered for a very long time, and should go into some level of HBCU Sports Hall of Fame. They deserve it.
I expect it to be temporary too. I don't expect them to be gone too long. They're good.
Prayerfully. Yeah, that's the other part. We winning, big dog. And we need the wins when we can get them.
Yeah.
And speaking of wins, y'all knew we weren't going to get out of here without saying this. 87.5% of this Hampton Pirate student athletes earned the Dean's List honor. No, it ain't. As a person who was a athletic tutor, this is very impressive. Extremely impressive. Dean's List for 87.5, and that's congratulations. Thank y'all for who got us there.
Yeah. We pick and choose what we report about our Hampton. Don't ask no questions. Right. We tell you no lies.
This is athletics. Extremely relevant. If you in a Denver department,
ladies and gentlemen, we come to
the
Let's go.
But yes, this concludes.
We come to the end of the HBCU news around the culture. We're gonna take a couple minutes. Beverage time. We'll be back with some hoops, and then we got some football talk. Maybe some good news for the Falcons. I don't know. Y'all remember to like, follow, subscribe. We will be right back, and Norwood will actually turn the cameras off this time,
and they gonna stay off this time.
Oh sure. And you got AI turning back on.
Wait a minute.
Did it again. You don't have it on repeat.
No. I don't understand. Oh, here it is. I see it. It'll stay there now. Turn the music on. Thank y'all. Gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of episode 194 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. Norwood, what we got on the docket, man?
It is time to talk hoops. We are in the middle of everything. WNBA is heating up. We are literally in the NBA Finals. Reggie is pouring beer on everything, apparently. And if you're a nerd like me and your team is already out, you are counting the days until the draft.
Everybody's team is out. We in the finals.
Right. I mean, if you are a Pacers fan or Oklahoma City Thunder fan, which I'm sure those exist somewhere over the rainbow. Hold on. And we're going to start with Asia. Asia Wilson, basketball phenom, basketball legend, basketball icon. Leads the WNBA in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Hey, y'all pissed Asia off, and then she just never got unpissed. And I really like that.
Fourth.
She has taken. I took this seriously to a whole. I took offense to this. She's the equivalent of Michael Jordan with "I'm pissed."
Yeah,
y'all think that I'm not the MVP? I'd be the MVP forever. How about that? How you like that?
This is Wilt Chamberlain numbers. I was gonna say Joker, but Joker ain't never gonna be first in steals. Oh well,
No.
This might be Joker because Joker was third in steals now, but he ain't never gonna be first in blocks. The first in blocks, first in steals, first in rebounds is defensive player of the year. Sewed up. First in points, first in assists, MVP, offensive player of the year.
Hold on. Braves won 7-1. We beat the Brewers. Woo! We needed that, Lord. We continue. My bad.
Yeah, I stopped watching. We was down 1-0 in the fourth. I said, well, that's an L. I said, that's it.
Braves break. We needed that.
But yeah, she to lead in a points and assists is offensive player of the year, MVP. At this point, and you know what's funny? They got beat by like 30 points. She is the team. Like that, she is so good. Shout out to you. Is it Nike? No, Adidas. Who her shoe is Adidas?
No, Nike.
Yeah, Nike. Shout out to you, Nike. Y'all finally gave her a shoe, and she out there. Everybody's wearing it. It's fire.
Good shoe too.
This is historic. She's on a historic run. Y'all better not let her leave Vegas. Y'all better go put some players around her.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate to see it. Kelsey Plum has left and went to the Sparks, and she playing her ass off too. I think that she just kind of needed to get out of this. That's the unfortunate thing is when you play for Vegas, you're going to be in Asia's shadow, no matter how good you are. This is the one, as you can see right over here. Oh, A1, see what I did there? Send me some shoes. Send us some shoes. How about that?
I wear them.
Well, shout out to Asia.
Hey, my daughter wears a size. She has kids' shoes. I'll ask her mother what size shoes she wear. Send my daughter some shoes too. She loves you.
Right. Yeah. And we're gonna move right on into
more Glizzy.
The game itself. This is the thing. Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson played a one-on-one game, and I will say I watched a lot of it on the playback. It was actually a really good one-on-one game. I think that the girls with Unrivaled have really brought this one-on-one thing back. It's crazy to say that about basketball. Oh, we're back to playing ones again. But the women of Unrivaled have sparked ones, and they're back. And Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson play ones. Beasley won 31-21, keeps his streak of apparently he's only lost to one person in ones ever in his life, and that's Bam Adebayo. But outside of that, Beasley says he's never lost ever in ones, which is crazy. But afterwards, Lance puts out a post and says, hey, man, this is great, which it was for two guys who've been out of the league, but still just really good basketball players. And Beasley jumped off the top rope. For the people who are listening, Michael Beasley says, now grab a cigarette and a towel. We made a sex tape. I don't want any basketball game that I've ever been in. I don't want my opponent to say that. Friends or not,
No, Diddy.
especially of Daedalus. There is not
The
anything.
diddler.
I don't want anything about a sex tape, a cigarette, or a towel. Nah, I'm good. I do think that this is good for the older guys though, because it was kind of exciting to see the game. Got to be very clear, and I hope
Not the sex tape.
y'all just need to stop using terms incorrectly. And that to me, you know what? That's where we're gonna leave that. That's a good
No, we're
stop.
not. I don't know why you surprised. When they talked about negotiated, the first clip they released said, "I'm gonna have
he
you
was freaking.
shaking ass on the court." I said, "Well, you
You
already
can't talk
did."
to me
When
like
this comes out about grab a cigarette and a towel, you already knew what you were signing up for. He just told you, "I'm gonna make you shake ass." That's jail talk. He talking. That's jail talk to you.
I
Hey,
don't know
bruh.
what type of talk it is, but it ain't
I
talk
lose
that
too. I would lose too.
wanna
I'd
hear.
never win. I never win. You win 11-0. I ain't even playing defense. But yeah, I mean, you can't beat him anyway because Michael Beasley, in all seriousness, he is that guy. When it comes, I mean, Kevin Durant has said, "Yo, I can't beat him. I can't beat him." And they both
And
from like the DMV area.
can we get no? Michael Beasley got to be better than George Niang.
Is he a better teammate?
Ain't but one way to find out. Hey man, we are damn near open tryouts, bro. We real close. But overall, this is fun for the old people. It was fun to see those guys go at it. Pause. But we gotta leave that where it is. We're gonna go right on to the finals. This has been everything that we could have asked for so far. Tyrese Halliburton comes back in game one, hits a game winner on a OKC team that was up the entire game. Pacers had 19 turnovers in the first half, and I said, hey, they're going to win this game because OKC has not put them to bed. And they sure enough came back and did it. And then OKC came back in game two at home and handled business. So now they go to Indy for 2 games. I think that at this point, I think the OKC is still the better team. With that being said, though, the Pacers, I mean, have the upper hand. They were able to steal one. Now the ball is in OKC's court. You got to steal one or both at the Pacers' home.
Make sure y'all go follow Dive Team Media Network, our Instagram. I do like a little lunch break 2 or 3 times a week, and I actually talked about this, and I wanted to bring it up to you. I didn't understand OKC in the first game making the adjustments before you even decide to play the game. Changing what to me is your biggest advantages on the boards, having Chet and Hartenstein be able to play the 4-5 and allows you to dominate the boards and basically jump Miles Turner, who ain't the greatest rebounder anyway. You decided to then start Casey Wallace instead, and he was a minus 13 in game one. And at that point, even though you were up, you never felt comfortable. And Isaiah Hartenstein, Chet was 2 of 9. The reasoning was that they didn't play but like 40 games together, 30 games together because Chet was hurt. But in those 30 games, they was like 27-3. Like, why would you make that change in the finals? You played down to the Pacers. You allowed the Pacers to then run their regular lineup. You adjusted to them and you was the favorite. And then you went in game 2, you went back and you dominated.
So I can see both sides of this coin. I understand how you have basically Miles Turner, who has played pretty well, even though his counting stats haven't been really off, haven't been crazy. He's just been a very good team basketball player, which I think a lot of times get missed. So I could understand staggering the center position so that you can always have a fresh center who can make it difficult because their backup center is Thomas Bryant. So you think whoever, if Hartenstein comes off the bench, Thomas Bryant has played better as of late, but you just think that Isaiah Hartenstein is just infinitely better than him as a backup center. You should be able to dominate in the moments where there is no Miles Turner. So I get it. But I also understand that dance with the girl that got you there. If this is how you got this far, this is how you became the best team in the NBA. This is how you had the best record in the NBA for the entire season. This is how you've been continuously beating people. What football coaches say all the time? So don't get cute. Do what you've been doing and do that well. That's it.
Run the ball, bro. We beat them up on the boards, and they got out rebounded in the second half. And now they went back, and I guarantee you they're not going to change it now.
Yeah, no. You have the
Shea was way more efficient too.
Right. The Formula One, you got to rock with it. I don't hate the strategy change, but if it doesn't work, then you have to get out of there. I do think that they're still the better team. So it's kind of a fair dice roll. Hey, can we do it this way? And does this make us better? But if it doesn't, then you can also get out of there because you're the better team and you can sacrifice one. If you really think that you're that much better, you can sacrifice the first win. Now it ended up being.
They look crazy, dog.
It ended up looking worse because the way that you lost. I think that it would have been actually better had they just got, whooped. Hey, let's lose by 10, let's lose by 20 and say, hey, man, scrap this plan. It doesn't work. But for you to be up and then be up by a lot and then Halliburton, just letting Halliburton's story be that I'm Mr. Game Winner and I done gave all of y'all one. So y'all
every round, game one. I done stole.
Right.
Swiper, no swiping.
Right. Yeah. Everybody has gotten their own game winner. It makes it bad, but you can't live and die by the story. You have to live and die by the record. And I do understand that sometimes the story can be what is the pendulum swing, but these two teams are good, deep teams. Figure it out, reshuffle, and go do it again.
If y'all don't go out there and just play ball, like the defense, OKC's defense is so good. Dog, you cannot bring the ball past your shoulders. If you bring the ball down past your shoulders, it is going to get stolen. They replay. And Indiana is playing. Remember, Indiana is not known for defense. This is why they've made it this far, because their defense, shout out to Nembhard, has been playing really, really well. But that OKC defense is crazy.
Speak of the jail, and he shall appear. Nembhard, boy. Now, say what you want to about this guy. You maybe never heard of him before. These are three guys who have played like the most elite basketball this season. Dame has had a rough season. I think he's played better this season, but him getting ingratiated into Milwaukee hasn't been the easiest transition. But SGA is the MVP. SGA is the MVP. Undeniable. Jalen Brunson has been a killer all season. He's the Knicks captain. He's Mr. Clutch Player of the Year. All of that. And then Donovan Mitchell, Mr. 40 ball
number
himself.
One seed in the East.
The leader of the best team in the East. And Nembhard has made it treacherous. Like this is a 4-A. No matter what happens in his entire existence. You can be 50 years old, look back and tell your children, hey, man, I was a tough out back in the day.
And he's good offensively. Like, he's good offensively. He can play defense. He can run even though they have TJ McConnell, when TJ McConnell in game one, they just didn't play him in the second half because he was so bad. They just put Nembhard as a backup point guard. And I was like, and he was cooking.
When they were denying Halliburton and doubling Halliburton and making it difficult, Nembhard stepped right up. Oh, I got it. I can be de facto Tyrese Halliburton if that's what y'all are going to do. If y'all just going to basically freeze him out, cool. I'll run the show. And done a very solid job. Impressive, because let's be real. Nobody went into the season thinking, oh, man, we really got to do anything with Nimhard. And for him to show up on offense and defense like this, the only scary part about this is these guys are the people who want to be paid. And you have to get it. Because I don't know when I'm gonna get my I don't know if this is who he really is. It would be great if it was, but I gotta make my money because I don't know when I'll get another chance.
Well, you saw that they already said they're preparing to go into the luxury tax next year because they want to keep this team. Huh?
For Miles Turner. But I mean, I think
because you might have to pick between Naismith and Nimhard.
Naismith, Nimhard. I mean, I don't know how many more years Obi Toppin has, but
Obi he'll a team friendly guy. You need to you need to stay with Halliburton.
Yeah, but also I mean, I get that, but if I'm Obi, once again, if I can get somebody who'll pay me $30 million a year, I gotta look at that. And I mean, $30 million a year with the new salary. I mean, with the new TV deal, that's still just a starter. But yeah, if I can make the money. Money comes first, especially if y'all. I mean, that's the reason it's infinitely important that when you can win a championship, you have to win a championship because both of these teams are going to have to figure out either, hey, do we have replacements, Nikola Topic, or do I have to find new guys? Because the fringe guys.
Well, the Pacers have a couple because they play them at the end. I don't know about OKC. Well, no, OKC got them too. But yeah, you're right. You had to figure it out, but
it's a great problem to have. Speaking of
Game 3, who wins?
We all win. Black dads together. I love this. I think the Pacers win. They need to win that first one. I think the Indies gonna be cracking for the first one. I think the scary one is game 2. I think that's where OKC steals theirs back. But I did want to highlight this. Me and Reggie talk a lot about black dads, and Tyrese Halliburton's dad he had the whole situation with Giannis, and then he was finally allowed to come back to games. And just watching SGA's dad between him and Nickeil Alexander-Walker just show up, and he's an interesting character, but this was too good not to celebrate.
He looked like an old Houston rapper, low key.
Right.
SGA, right. He looked like an old Houston rapper. he looked like he run with Stack 5, low key. He looked like he run with Stack 5.
The other part about this that I really think about is this was game 1. This is the game where the Pacers were down the whole game, and then SGA comes back and hits the game winner. I don't know if I still want to be with him after his son hits the game winner and steals game 1.
Oh no, he on his best behavior. He ain't really been crazy now. He still be talking, but he ain't gonna be crazy.
I'm talking about SGA Day. I just might be sick. Like I'm okay with sometimes I'm just sick. I don't need to see anybody or anything. Let me go be by myself. This man, Halliburton pulled that shit off at the end, and you're like, good game.
Nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can really do. Here's what it is.
Who you got game 3?
OKC. I think OKC takes this one, and then game 4 is a game of games. Game 4 is probably the game of the series. Even if Indiana wins game 3, I think game 4 will be the best game of the series. I think it's gonna go double overtime type game.
Fair enough. I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Me too. I'm excited to see how this plays out too.
Playing out. I've hinted about this for multiple seasons, but the Knicks have relieved Tom Thibodeau of his head coaching duties. I think that this is
a mistake.
I think this is honestly poorly timed. As much as I've said for time, like years and years, Tibbs is not your guy. When he finally gets you to a place that you've never been before,
25 years.
Yeah, then you should have done this 2 years ago or a year ago.
Yeah, can't let him build his resume up and then fire him. What you doing?
Yeah, right. Right. You helped him get to a better job. And there is another story here, which is very interesting, is Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson's father, is on Tom Thibodeau's staff. Typically, when you fire the coach, so does the staff, so goes the staff. The interesting part about this is Jalen Brunson is probably on the best team-friendly deal in the NBA, minus V. Krejci. V. Krejci only because he is literally getting paid the minimum for 4 years.
They said, bro, we gonna pay your last $5 in quarters.
Yo, V. Krejci is on a minimum deal for 4 years that could be terminated at any point.
Any
Bruh,
point, bro. You gotta come get your paycheck. They gonna get your paycheck in cash. Don't even worry about your W-2, big dog. They worry about the W-2.
No, we're not gonna put you on direct deposit. You might not be here.
What?
We don't need your account number. We do not need your routing number. Matter of fact, we just pay you in cash. We're gonna put it in a little envelope. Be there on Friday. But outside of that, Jalen Brunson
be out there playing his heart out too. I'm gonna get this 72 cents.
Smiling, sniggling, and giggling too, having the time in his life. Say at any point this ride could be over. But so you got Jalen Brunson on the best deal in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. Does this mean that Rick Brunson is off the coaching staff? How does Jalen take to his dad being fired? There have been rumors. Once again, I don't really love to report rumors, but since it's all kind of together, there have been rumors that people didn't necessarily love that the captain's dad is on the coaching staff. I could see how at a job, that could be something for sure.
I don't think that Jalen Brunson's dad is going to be a big deal. Well, I'll say this. There's a few things. There's a few things since that has come out since they've moved on from Tibbs. James Dolan brought everybody in together, the stars, and upper management, to have a discussion about what they wanted to do with Tibbs. It came out allegedly. This is all alleged. It was reported that they think Tibbs was going to run Jalen into the ground. One. What's up, Sneaky? Nah, Rick Brunson's not going to be the head coach. One. Two. Some people, there is a power struggle within that organization and within that team. Hence the Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson issue. Why I don't think it'll be a big deal, depending on where they go, is because they already have reached out to a former coach, even though I think Dallas may try to foil them and he may have to force his way out, who was Rick Brunson worked for in Jason Kidd when they were in Dallas. If they were to try to get Jason Kidd, Rick Brunson, I guarantee you that's why Jason Kidd was on that short list, not just because of his coaching acumen, but because Rick Brunson also would stay there and it would appease Jalen Brunson.
Right.
So there's a lot of turning cogs and wheels and twists and turns in this New York Knicks shuffle. But I will say, I agree with you that this was poorly timed because now you look dysfunctional. We were just praising y'all 2 years ago. We were just praising y'all 2 years ago and really 6 months ago when you got Cat. We were praising y'all for how y'all were maneuvering. Y'all had all these picks. You had Jalen Brunson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You made the Michael Bridges thing. A lot of people
that Bridges thing,
the Bridges trade, and a lot of people were like, whatever. But it wasn't a dysfunctional move. It was a move of like, we trying to win. And for the most part, for the last 24 years, they have not been trying to win.
And even if it's a stupid move, I respect the bold move. That's especially Knicks fans. They're like, okay, well, maybe you went too far all in with all of your chips, but at the end of the day, the respect and the effort there is something. I'm not exactly sure how the Jason Kidd New York Knicks thing plays out. I could see. I mean, it is Madison Square Garden. It is Jason Kidd. It is everything that will be great and interesting. And Jason Kidd has done a lot of great development. He's the guy who developed Giannis into what he was. He developed Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic. He's got a proven track record, and he's surely a player's coach. So that could be interesting. I also, the statement came out that he didn't really like the way that the Luka trade happened and how he ended up being the face of the trade, the representative. He ended up being the person who had to speak and did not really have, I don't think, much input on what happened or did not happen. I think he was just kind of looped into the group or informed, hey, this is what we're going to do. And that's it. So I could see him at this very moment being like, you know what? This might be my time to get out of here. I can also see how he sees Cooper Flag and say,
yeah, I might be able to rebuild this.
Right.
I'd be like, hey, I may be able. But I think if I were Jason Kidd, I'll go to New York. You already got roots and you already got ties to the Brooklyn Nets. You already got ties up there.
Yeah,
I'd be on the first thing smoking to New York, and I'd go and figure it out.
I've also heard that Johnny Bryant is a guy to keep your eye on. He was the Knicks associate.
That's what I was looking for. Yes, go ahead.
He's the Knicks associate head coach 2020 to 2024. And then I think he's the associate head coach for the Cavaliers, who have been the best team in the Eastern Conference all season. So he's done very well. And then before that, he was with the Jazz. So from 14 to present, when he was with the Jazz, that was the Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. And then you go to the Knicks and they've steadily progressed, and all of those players are pretty familiar. And then you go to Cleveland and you just knock it out of the park. We don't know how much influence he had, but I mean, at the end of the day, his career path has charted him at least a phone call and a conversation, which should be interesting. And I will give you a little piece of something that I've been thinking about is Chris Paul to the Knicks. That surely would be interesting.
I mean,
Jalen Brunson is not an elite facilitator. You could put the ball in Chris Paul's hand.
I was gonna save that for going into the draft, but you're right. I noticed that. I was like, bro, they don't have nobody to distribute. It's all one-on-one or like they don't run a real offense. And Indiana was just bing, 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 picking them apart.
And I mean, Jalen Brunson's good enough where you don't have to have Chris Paul be the man every night. And I mean, you could still keep some, I will have another point guard just in case Chris Paul's old. But I could surely say, especially if you want to like bring him off the bench or in games with Chris Paul, to Chris Paul, Karl Anthony Towns, pick and roll would be treacherous. And
I was trying to get a bigger guard. I would try to get a bigger guard.
Yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, the thing that they need the most is a facilitator. That's not Brunson's best skill. It is a skill that he's kind of developed. And I don't think that he's really that good at it. I think that just out of necessity, he's got to be the guy. But if you could say, hey, man, we want to end the game with Chris Paul, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, if he's still there, OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns.
All five of them won't be there. Somebody got to go.
Right. I mean,
sure. The dark humor. You made this group with you and Sar. You and Sam with this dark humor is hilarious.
Fair enough. And it's just
all right, my bad. Go ahead.
The only safe space. But the Knicks,
it is.
And the other part is the Knicks have spent a lot of money everywhere else. You could get Chris Paul for pretty much free. And
Chris
for
Paul,
him,
you better not go to New York. You better stay your ass right there with Wemby.
No, I agree, but I gotta see how things shake out now. If y'all can get Giannis, then you're right. I'm gonna hang out and I'm gonna find my spot. And one of these guards, I'm telling you, Stephon Castle or De'Aaron Fox needs to go. And I'm leaning
De'Aaron Fox is the one.
Yes,
De'Aaron Fox is the one that's gonna be out of there. And De'Aaron Fox. Well, Lakers don't need him.
Magic,
or
the Rockets.
Well, are we gonna talk about it? We're not. Did you see that the Magic are planning to aggressively pursue Rayford Young the third.
Not gonna happen. Never gonna happen. You can't give us anything to replace what trade means to the ticket sales. That is off. Guys who you should be interested in are Cam Whitmore, great fit. DeJounte Murray, good fit. Sleeper, Colin Sexton. Those are the guys who I would be looking for. Guys who are buckets, and you could get for reasonable cost. You're not getting Trey Young. Hey, and let me go ahead and tell you this.
You have to give us 72 picks,
Paolo,
and everybody else not named Paolo or Franz. They're not giving up Paolo.
No,
they may give up Franz.
Okay, if you're gonna take our one, then I want a one back.
No,
I'm not.
That's not the point of trying to. They're trying to pair Trey with Paolo. They're not giving you Paolo.
I'm not giving you that and then playing you 18 times a season. No, are you stupid? That's not like that is arming your closest enemy. The one that is the closest.
All right, bro. You got to go to Houston, or you got to go to.
They talked about Utah,
Las Vegas. If I'm Trey, I blow Atlanta up. Y'all send me to Utah.
Utah, Portland, Clippers, anywhere. You could go anywhere but next door.
You got one more year.
I still would take Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball because I feel like even if you trade to Chicago, it doesn't move the needle enough where we look crazy.
I agree. I never said that wasn't a good trade. I don't think that they would do it, but the Lonzo Ball is picking up a lot of momentum this offseason. He is there's so many people, and we kind of on a tangent, but it is what it is. There's so many people that are bigging up the praises of Lonzo Ball. DeMar DeRozan has said it multiple times, where he said, "Yo, we were actually pretty good in Chicago until he got hurt," and that was that. So I would love Lonzo Ball in Atlanta, but I have a feeling that he's going to end up talking. They're going to end up talking him into a starting point guard role.
Well, no, because I don't think that you can base your team around him because of his injury history. But
I just said starting point guard role.
Yeah, I think that position is too valuable to get a guy who you're not.
Oh well, yeah. Go ahead. Finish,
if I'm a star, you can't tell me that Lonzo Ball is my starting point guard, and not because his capability is, hey, bro, I need him to help me, and if he's hurt for 40 games, I'm not getting enough help. That's the reason I'm saying give me Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball, because the thing that Lonzo Ball has is extremely exciting is he has a team-friendly deal. I tell y'all every week, with the second apron, you got to be able to find players that are on good deals that you can get to play. Lonzo Ball is on a deal where you're like, you know what? I think it's like $10 million a year. I will 100% pay $10 million.
Oh, y'all tripping. Detroit, go get him. If that's your backup point guard, Detroit, y'all out here. Y'all with Cade at the starting, then you can put Cade at the 2 or the 3. Oh, with Jaden Ivey at the 2. Oh,
and that like that's the reason.
And now we're
that's the reason I'm saying that. That's the reason I've always been like, yeah, bring me Lonzo. Everybody's always heard also. I don't need him to play that much. And yeah, Lonzo and Dyson can play together. Lonzo and Trey can play together. And there's just a rotation of guards. And then just in case Kobe Buffkin is actually a decent player, him and Lonzo, all those iterations of 4 guards works.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. You're extremely right, Sneaky. If K could have had a chance to have somebody help him get easier shots, oh boy, you're talking about you're unlocking a ceiling that is way higher than I think people even have considered. He could truly be like the early James Harden, where I could get you 27 points, and then also he's been a facilitator for enough, seasons now that I can still get you 8, 9 assists. Then you look at like an MVP candidate. That's the reason that I look at like all these guys who have exactly one skill, the Zach LaVines. I know y'all gonna get mad when I say this, the Donovan Mitchells of the world, the guys who can only
Nobody
do one
said
thing.
that you were wrong about that, but you put Donovan Mitchell at like 17 of those guys. And I was like, bro, he's the number 1 or 2 of the one skilled scorer guys.
Okay, so Donovan Mitchell is the Michael Jordan of Zach LaVine's. That might be true.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, that's disrespectful. No, I would just say of scorers, because there's been before Zach LaVine, there were scorers. There was one guy, one trick pony. That's pretty much what the NBA was until this renaissance of 7-foot Kevin Durant.
If you can't bring me 2 skills at this point, if you better be Donovan Mitchell. And I will concede that point. His one skill is so good.
70. I'm gonna give you 72 points.
He is also
no assists.
He's also ultra dependent on having a defensive player of the. Well, I'm not gonna say he's ultra dependent. He's been fortunate enough to have defensive player of the years. Going from Rudy to Evan Mobley is a hey.
Hey man, look, hey, Magic got drafted to Kareem, bro. You just gotta be happy. You just gotta be happy. Everybody can't struggle like Mike or the Atlanta Hawks, because what the fuck?
Exactly. Okay, so Reggie's a little upset. Shams has reported the Atlanta Hawks and new GM Ansi Saleh are finalizing deals to hire New Orleans Pelicans GM Bryson Graham as the team's senior VP of basketball operations, and the Sixers executive Peter Dinwiddie as the senior VP of strategy and analytics. These 2 guys have been, from what I understand, are 2 actually really good respected pickups. The guy from the Pelicans, Bryson, he started as an intern. And he went from he went with the Spolstra track from step to step to step to step. And I think that these are 2 pretty good pickups, considering that Ansi this is the first time that he's been the guy at the top. He's the general manager, and looks like, for all intents and purposes, he's going to be the new president of basketball operations. He's insulated himself with 2 respected guys who've been doing this for a decent amount of time. I think that I'm okay with these choices per what I've read. He's the guy who got Dyson in, and this is the other part, Pelicans. If this guy's a hit too, y'all gonna start looking like the Oakland Athletics versus the Atlanta Braves. And we just came and just took all the good parts of your organization, just left you with nothing. So both of them have pretty good resumes, and Ansi, who I think is very respected but never been in this position, has insulated him with 2 guys who know what they're doing. The timing for me is a little. It was awful. It was a little concerning, but the way that I read this is both of these guys are direct reports to Ansi. They are not above him. He, at this point, is going to be the guy who makes the decisions. So I guess I'm a little bit more okay with it because they already had their guy. I just don't understand the whole, we're going to try to find a president of basketball operations and you had him the whole time. But Tony Ressler does weird shit like this and confuses you, because I don't think that he always knows what he's doing.
All right. Few things.
Go for
it. You just said the first part. What the fuck happened to the president? We done got a VP of basketball operations.
It's over. It's on.
A senior VP. We getting the president of basketball operations to a VP and a senior VP of basketball operations and strategy and analytics. What the fuck? That's cool. We backpedaled on it. We missed. We shot an air ball with how we rolled this out. With that being said, I was very skeptical on Bryson Graham because of the whole Zion situation. But if you actually go and look at the Pelicans, aside from injuries where their whole team just fell off, he didn't build a bad team.
No,
I know y'all are gonna say he gave away Dyson Daniels, but at the time, Dyson Daniels wasn't Dyson Daniels. We
no.
didn't know
Okay,
what he was, and we knew who DeJounte Murray was.
so
And then
there are
he had
two.
just carried the Hawks. He had just carried the Hawks while Trey was hurt. So you kind of knew what was happening, but he built that team to kind of win.
I
Not
don't.
kinda win, to win.
So for me, I don't think that was his move. I think that he's the guy who identifies the talent. I don't know if he's the guy who trades the talent. Those are two different things. And I think that Zion was not a decision that he made. The decision was made on day one. There was never like, oh, there's a
Well, you had
scouting
to.
report on Zion.
You kind of get
Yeah.
bullied into those picks.
That's like if Cooper Flag doesn't ever amount to anything. What do you mean? I didn't make that decision. This decision was made on day one. Is he available? He's ours. Oh, take him. It's that simple. But if you look at Herb Jones, you look at Trey Murphy, who they drafted low, the ability to acquire, Brandon Ingram, Eves Missy, where there are decisions to be made, he's made good decisions. The only really tough decision was a decision that nobody really could make. And for all intents and purposes, it's almost a decision nobody could unmake, which is what got David Griffin fired. I just can't abandon Zion Williamson. But it's not like there was a decision of, are we drafting Zion or not? It's, hey, who are we sending to do it?
Yeah.
Unless
I like
a fan of Zion Williamson, and you've always said that, boy, this is a really bad idea. But everybody else, I mean,
I like when you look at what they were hired for. Now, I'm not familiar with Peter Dinwiddie, but as you said before, I Googled his name, I looked up all the articles, and from an aspect of what he's supposed to do in analytics, he's supposed to be that guy when it comes to strategy and analytics. And then a lot of other people will overrule him. I do like that Unsi is building the team around him. And I do like that the Hawks have some sort of direction. What was frustrating me about the Hawks is they had no direction and we didn't know what they were doing. They was the way that they fired Landry after doing the exit interviews to, of course, Trey does his cryptic stuff every offseason, but you don't really I didn't understand the goal of what we were trying to accomplish as an organization. And the wrestlers, you already know how we feel about the wrestlers because they don't do anything. So I do like that he's
like a 2K franchise, which is not like my 2K franchise.
I was about to say that's what you do, but they ain't good though. But I do like that they brought in Bryson Graham, and I think I looked at he was part of the scouting department before. He started as an intern and went through scouting, and then went to VP of basketball. Well, this is VP of basketball operations. Then went up to where he was in New Orleans because he was able to identify talent. And the way that basketball and sports goes with the advanced stats and analytics, you need a guy like Peter Dinwiddie. Now, I know he was doing some advanced stats and analytics and trying to calculate how many bounces of the basketball going to happen before Joel Embiid's knees blow up and Paul Pierce's knee collapse and all of the stuff that was going on in Philly. I know he was crunching them numbers out there. So I know he's going to come to Atlanta and try to figure some things out. I'm being optimistic, cool, but I do like the team that Unsi is building out. I just don't like being in the dark of what the fuck y'all doing. So now that we see a direction, I got a little bit of optimism.
I think for me, number one, you did hear Trey say, because they're playing in OKC, that he wants to next year. Y'all will see me playing against the Thunder in the championship. That is as mercurial as he is in the offseason.
You going to Boston?
As mercurial as Trey is in the offseason, it is and for the organization, it's a vote of confidence that he wants to be there to say stuff like that in the offseason instead of, hey, we'll see how things play out and then we'll go into the season, which we've also heard before.
I ain't hear nothing about the Hawks when he said that. I heard y'all will see me playing in the championship. He ain't say with the Hawks.
Yes, he did. He said, "Hey, I'm going to bring Atlanta there next year." That is like that's one of the things that's out there.
I don't believe you.
Everywhere. I mean, I get that too, but he just hasn't said that in the past. And I think the other part that really got Landry out of there
They about to get
is
that man the biggity bag. That's what that means.
now that part either you need to be looking at a Jalen Brunson type of thing. But
I didn't mean to cut you off. Well, you said if he doubled down right now, it's about some news about to come out soon. Trae Young agrees to contract extension.
I don't think that Trae has that big like small guards. The market ain't the greatest.
It's not the greatest, but I disagree.
And most teams have the like getting a point guard is like having a quarterback. You kind of got to have your guy, or it probably ain't gonna work. So,
but I mean, like a team like New York, like you love Brunson. He's the clutchest player. He's this, that, and the third. They needed facilitating.
Yeah, but right? You can't. Trae and Brunson don't work, and you can't get rid
of Brunson for
Trae.
That's the part. I do think Trae, his skill set has a market for every team that doesn't have Joker or SGA or something of that sort. But
who else?
Orlando.
Oh,
Houston.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Cost
Houston.
Much.
Yes.
Cost too much.
They got all the assets. They talking about going after Giannis.
What you don't have in a traditional point guard, you have an elite passing big of Alperen Sengun.
New York.
So
Philadelphia.
New York, there's no way that New York is into the
Trae's skill set fits his ability to. He is, and I also think he's going to ironically, I think Trae Young is going to benefit from Tyrese Halliburton. His ability to pass is going to be valued even higher. But Trae's going to have to figure out how to stop the turnovers, and they've been going down. But there's a bunch of teams. I mean, I don't know about Phoenix because I don't know what Phoenix is doing.
Phoenix is in a whole shuffle.
But you like know, there's teams that Dallas needs a point guard. Like there's so many teams that need a facilitator. You could afford it. You could trade some people. They got nobody not to trade.
Now that part. I mean, you have once again. What are you gonna give me? You're gonna have to give me Cooper Flag in order to get Trae. Now there is, and I don't hate that answer either. I'm gonna tell you, I looked at a trade that was PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, and a number one, and we'll give you Trae Young, which I think that short term, that's a squad. Kyrie, I agree, but Trae, Lively, and AD, and we will give up the 2 picks this year and 1 pick next year. So yeah, you could draft you a rookie in a flat draft to play the 3. And yeah,
it's gonna be interesting about it. But my point is, Trae, you can. I mean, hell, Minnesota got eliminated. Let's talk about Minnesota. Like there's a lot of teams that could use Trae, and you can get around. I mean, at this point, all sports leagues are copycat leagues, right? So if you could make a trade and get 17 billion picks like OKC or like Houston or like Utah, then that's what they'll end up doing. Now, I don't know if that's true. Then we may just pay Trae because we can make a lot of money, and the wrestlers know that if they pay Trae, he will stay here and they will make $100 billion every year. Yeah, but the point is, if you wanted to move on, you could and get a nice haul back. It might not turn out 2026, 2025, but it might be 2027.
But realistically, the teams that could, like, yeah, you could say Minnesota, but I mean, we don't want Rudy and we don't want Julius. That don't work for us.
Oh, you could sign and trade Jay McDaniels, which I don't know if they would, but I mean, Trae.
You got to reach the Trae. Like, we're not like if we're gonna get rid of Trae, we're gonna have to get a point guard, or we're gonna have to get an undisputed back. We're gonna have to get a guy that's so good that you can get rid of Trae and say that's the reason I could. And Cooper Flag don't exactly fit, but if you traded Trae and 3 firsts and got Cooper Flag, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington, and Klay Thompson, well, yeah, you could probably figure that out because that's a bench. That's a strong ass bench, and all you have to do is find a point guard. That'd be the only thing you have to do. And we would probably be at that point, we're good at the Pacers. I don't care what you say.
I mean, there's a lot. Milwaukee, you could go. I ain't gonna say trade. Lord, kicking my ass. Trade to Milwaukee. But there's a lot of, if you wanted to keep Trey, there's a lot of teams that are going to be in flux this offseason because, as you said, which is our most popular reel right now, the second apron. That second apron is going to make a lot of decisions for us. So it's going to be interesting going forward. Before we move on from the Hawks and we go to the Suns and all that other stuff, because we're going to laugh at Wemby. Maybe not. Hawks are rumored to be interested in
the knife.
Golden child. Allegedly, we're gonna go after Miles Turner this fall or this offseason.
No, we ain't.
I don't like that. That shit's stupid. You could have done that 2 years ago.
They're not doing that. Have y'all not? Miles Turner is not coming to Atlanta. It is not happening. He just told y'all after winning the Eastern Conference Finals, I've been here through it all. I've been through all the trade rumors. This is where I've grown up and become an adult. And now I got Tyrese Halliburton? You think I'm going to go play with Trey? Notoriously selfish? Notoriously an asshole when I have Tyrese Halliburton?
That's not fair. I think that Halliburton is an asshole. I don't think he's selfish, but he's a 100% asshole. They have the same skill set. I think that it wouldn't be a big adjustment at all.
Yes, other than we're already in the finals.
Yeah, I mean you're in the finals. Yes, you're in the. I'm not leaving. I can't fight that. Yeah, you are.
Right.
Money.
I'm not. And they've already told me they're going to go into the luxury tax. He's going to stay with the devil who he knows. Yeah, like they're all these teams say, "Oh, I'm interested in Miles Turner."
You are so country.
Churchy.
He gonna stay with the devil that he knows. That boy went to church.
But
lost your religion when you went to college.
That is not true. But yeah, Miles Turner is not. And I think that's the reason the Pacers went ahead and said that, hey, y'all can go ahead and do whatever y'all want to. And it is the job of other teams to try to raise the price. Hey, we're interested. But Miles Turner and his Legos is not moving. It ain't happening. And I mean, they're at the point now where Miles Turner is going to probably be. Him and Halliburton kind of have the same opportunity Trey has in Atlanta. That if I just stay here for my entire career, I could be the best ever at this place. That's the selling point I think that Trey has, that we have for Trey, that it's going to be difficult if he goes anywhere else. Because anywhere else he goes, he's going to have to be a number 2. If you stay in Atlanta for the rest of your career, you're on all the scoring all the scoring records. You're on all the assist records. And your stats should be so high that there's at least potential that you could be considered the greatest Atlanta Hawk ever. Especially since it's been so long.
I'm pretty sure he's probably already there.
I mean, he ain't Dominique now. Let's relax. He's not a Hall of Famer. Dominique's a Hall of Famer. That ain't it. You're not there. But especially since there's been such a long gap between Dominique and Trey. I mean, Dominique, honestly, really before our time. So
because he tore his Achilles in like 90, 92,
right.
94.
Right.
Somewhere in there. They went to
I was in the Omni going to see Dominique and Jordan. Like
the curtains. They had the curtains on.
Exactly. So, especially
you never seen a stadium with curtains, then we go to Dallas. Stupid ass Dallas.
Olympics. 96. But just the time gap being so big and memories being so short now, Trae Young could easily be, hey, I'm the greatest. Even if he don't win a championship, I hate to compare him to this guy. He probably ends up being Matt Ryan. My stats are just so great that I'm going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
That's pretty accurate.
Right. It is.
So that means, Trey, when you make it to your finals, if you do make it to your finals, They take advantage because you're only gonna make one. You already made your Easter Conference. We made it in NFC. You're gonna make one more Easter Conference and one final. You better take advantage.
Exactly.
Now, if you do that, you'll have Trae Young Boulevard. Then we'll change the names. Didn't shout at New York. All right, my bad. That was a 35-minute tangent.
I will also have to say that, hey, what's wrong? Also, the Suns hired Jordan. I don't know where that slide has disappeared to. Not really the sexiest hire to me. It is interesting though that he used to coach in Atlanta with Budenholzer. Jesus, we had Jordan, Bud, Atkinson, Quinn Snyder, Taylor Jenkins, Darvin. Like we've had all of them.
Had a hell of a fucking coaching staff. If they were all there together at the same time, we would have the greatest coaching staff of all time.
Right.
Nope.
But so congratulations to him. The Suns are still in disarray. I think that they could have taken a better coach. But I will, from what I heard, Devin Booker was very involved. And I don't think that any of those other coaches, the Taylor Jenkins and Mike Malones, are interested in taking this job until they at least see what this team looks like. So if you're going to
figure out what the hell Kevin Durant is going to do.
We know that Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal are out. The question is once you deal them, will you have immediate players?
What do you get back?
Yeah. Will you have future facing assets, or will you have immediate change makers?
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting thing here. Apparently, the EuroLeague has offered Russ 3 years, $150 million. I say at this point, you turn that down as long as you can play on a contender. As soon as the contenders start calling, this is your retirement plan.
Retirement plan. Man, if you don't negotiate, hey, bro, I'll play here until they call me, and then I'll leave.
Oh, no. I still, at the end of the day, he's also made a bunch of money. It's not like the money is just literally just the money and the ability to play basketball at the end. And I mean, Russ still in good shape now. It's not like, I don't even think Russ honestly slowing down. Now his shot ain't.
No, he's slowing down. His athleticism will probably never go away. He'll be the 55-year-old that run a 4.5 40.
Right.
But that skill
and them Euros,
skill ain't.
And them Euros, y'all ain't.
They be fighting. Russ like to fight now.
Right.
We just saw Kendrick Nunn and old boy that you hate from New York.
Evan Fournier. No. and I'm not, as much as I don't like Knicks fans, I'm not even putting Evan Fournier with y'all. Evan Fournier, sneaky, that's y'all. He's a Magic player. But yeah, when it's all said and done, go get your money, Russ. What else do we have here? Oh, your boy. Wemby has shaved his head at the Shaolin Temple, has changed into monk robes and dined with the monks. Wemby has become the first NBA superstar to practice as a monk. He really thinks he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he might be.
I thought we were going. I said that he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the court. We hadn't seen anybody like him.
He's Kareem Abdul off the court.
Kareem was extremely eccentric. Is extremely eccentric,
right?
And was mature in terms of he was an old soul.
Correct.
And it seems that this is what Wemby is. And Wemby's been famous since he was like 10 because he was 6 foot whatever at 10 years old. So now at this point, and he be doing the stuff like going to the park and playing chess and going and be reading the Buddhas. Yeah, he read everything.
He read every night for 45 minutes, and he go to bed at 9:30 every night. He turns his phone off, and he be like, "Oh yeah, no, y'all can't call me. My phone is off." And everybody else was like, "What do you mean you turn your phone off? Because we're all lunatics."
It makes sense though, because that's what the monks do. He is already extremely disciplined because I'm actually surprised athletes don't do this more, because especially the way that new sports is, you're groomed to play sports from the age of 9 or 10 on. Like, you have to have wild discipline to get to the point you are.
Yeah,
It
but we also
doesn't
play
surprise
social
me.
media in a different way than and I think this is more him. I think that if you put a bunch of French kids his age in America, they're not like this either. They wilding out, enjoying being this age and being rich too. I just think that he's a different guy. I could also see how if he wasn't with the Spurs, I think he could be a lot more problematic. He could fall into the Jaylen Brown category of, oh, what are you doing outside of this? Because are you a concern that you might leave the game to do other things to a lesser degree, like an AJ Griffin? Because you're not.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
You're not a slave to money and popularity and fame like most people are. He seems to do a pretty good job. And this is the thing. This is only what we see of this person. None of us know this guy in real life, and he's very private.
And
so
you probably will never know him in real life.
Right. So, it could be a really good facade, or this could be him. But I could understand if it wasn't the Spurs who had Tim Duncan and David Robinson and all the good soldiers in the world, then yeah, if this was Portland, I might be a little concerned. But I think the Spurs are uniquely qualified, and they have a bunch of guys who you can always call and be like, hey, man, Tim Duncan want to talk to you. And if Tim Duncan calls, it's not like, man, who is this guy calling me? Like, it's him. But it's really interesting. And I like to see guys who are different. We kind of get a lot of athletes who are very similar. Hey, this is what I do. I play basketball, and that's it. To see a guy who plays chess, who does just have an interesting human, especially if we're gonna podcast. Damn, y'all all about the damn same. Speaking of not being the same, no. Brandon Podziemski has his eyes set on playing in the 2028 Olympics and plans on being an all-star. Well,
gonna play for Poland.
I was about to say, what is your country of origin? We need to find out where Podziemskis originate from, and we will do our best to get you to that Eastern Bloc country. Because where he won't be playing is in America. Oh, it's a Polish surname. Oh, you can be a Pole. You can play for the Poles. But what you won't do, play for this United States of America, bro.
I'm up here looking at my phone, trying to figure out if I'm gonna order this food this late this night. I don't give a damn about Brandon Podziemski playing in the 2028 Olympics. We don't care. Well, I don't care, bro. We don't care, bro. You might not even be on the Warriors in 2027. But let me tell you something.
Polish Olympic basketball team roster.
Don't care.
Let me tell
you.
Podziemski. It is. First of all, they have multiple Yakubs. One Yakub, two. There's not one name. Yeah, you could be the pack leader of the Polish team, but the American team, you won't even be in the trial. Nope. I don't think that you're a good Golden State Warrior. I think that they just trying to make it work for you. But I don't think that you're really that good of a basketball player. That you being a good basketball player for them is like a LeBron lie. Oh yeah, THT gonna be good. Boy,
that Tristan Thompson's $80 million.
Nah, that
Josh called him a flag football Olympian.
That's disrespectful, and we'll end with that. No, and more disrespect. The Orlando Magic are bringing back an iteration of the old Shaq and Penny jerseys. I appreciate everything except for the font. The font sucks. What made the jersey cool before was the font was creative. You've sanitized all of that and just made it a generic. It's just generic as hell. Disappointing.
I like the blue and the white one. I don't like the black and blue one. I ain't really a big fan of that one. That one looks a little AAU-ish to me.
It looks like it's like what we used to say about a Chrysler 300 and a Rolls Royce. This looks okay until as soon as you put it next to the old jersey, you're like, oh no, it's not even close. I went back and looked. I was like, let me make sure I'm not tripping. No, and then I went to the comments because I try to be a reasonable person, and they all said the same thing. The font sucks, and it does.
Yeah, it ain't the greatest. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna get it, and I'm not, but I am. It has inspired me to get the pennies. I do want the pennies, so I'll probably go back and get those.
Yeah, but I don't want this jersey at all.
Nope. Sneaky, we'll get it for you though. No, we won't.
No, we won't. I don't think that even Sneaky wants a jersey. And this is the thing. If I'm going to buy one, I might as well just go back and get the old Penny jersey or the old Shaq jersey because it looks better. But that concludes basketball. We've had a fun time with that. We're going to talk quick football here, quick hits, and then me and Reggie are going to freestyle when it comes to the Falcons. We shall return briefly. And yeah, beverages or H2O in my case. And we'll be right back.
Glizzy Fest. And we're back. Hey, pause.
We began to rock steady.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our final segment of episode 194 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw, our football segment. We got a few things we're going to talk about today. Y'all know what it is: NFL, NCAA, high school when necessary. We already talked about high school when they are going to pay players in Texas. Let's talk about the NIL team pay.
Team pay. There we go.
Starting July 1st, universities can pay money directly to their student athletes, meaning they are 100% employees. They can file taxes, and they basically are now the semiest of proest, the proest of semis. This is basically semi-pro football. This is basically saying we are not going to hide it anymore. I think Dion was one of the ones that said, hey, y'all talking about NIL, but they ain't advertising nothing. Y'all just paying them $10 million. So now they basically took the veil away and said, hey, we can pay y'all. I mean, it is what it is. It's long time overdue, but they're going to have some regulation soon. I can tell you that.
Incentives. This is going to be incentives and event-based so that there is some level of
Control.
Yes, because I mean, and we're going to see more and more of these lawsuits where players have been paid, and then they go somewhere else, and then teams or collectives want their money back. They're going to tie them to you doing specific things. So yeah, you have this event that you go to, we'll pay you for it. At
Specifically,
this
Nico
game,
from Tennessee
yeah,
and his brother at UCLA.
correct.
That's what this is response to.
So I think that this is a good thing. I think that this is actually a thing that should have happened a long time ago, like decades ago. And then you probably would not have had the wild, wild west that NIL has been. And I think that had you done it like majority places I work where they do profit sharing, so we all get rich together, versus for so many years it was coaches, administrators, organizations, etc., getting all the money, and then the players, you got to go to the pros to make it. I am 100% into players being retirement wealthy by the time that they're done playing college football. I think that that's very real. It's a dangerous game. It's a difficult game. It's a game that's rough on your body. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to walk away and say, hey, man, I have enough money. I don't ever have to work again.
Man, you know what? This is funny to me. They be talking about rules, and I'm on number 4 now, y'all. So ain't no filter. They talk about rules and how it takes a while to get things done. We have to vote. They passed this rule in 32 days.
Yeah, when the money's on the line, baby.
Nico transferred, his brother transferred from UCLA in April when the transfer portal opened for the spring. They passed this new rule in 30-something days. That shows me that all y'all are full of shit anyway. So yeah, pay them. Give them all the money. Y'all getting paid $40 million, $30 million. Y'all whole college conference and college conference, college atmosphere, everything is based on the players, but they can't get paid. But y'all selling their jersey though? Nah, pay them. They deserve more paper.
I do think that there is, as Josh has said here, he says as soon as the NCAA tries to regulate it, this will give the SEC an excuse that it needs to secede from the rest of the nation. I mean, the rest of the NCAA. Well played there. I agree. I think that the SEC is probably like, hey, we could do this self-contained. We could probably pay our players across the board more and not have to deal with you guys at all. We could be our own little self-contained league, and then I'm sure you'll have detractors, just like there've already been, who love to join the SEC in whatever iteration it is. Yeah, if you're Florida State and you're trying to get out of the ACC, and then you see the SEC over there, you're like, oh yeah, I just want to be done with y'all. Let me go. I'll go over there. And I'm sure the SEC will be more than happy to have them and destroy another conference like the Tupac.
They would control Florida at that point.
Right.
So I mean, it is what it is. And shout out to all y'all folks arguing with me down on TikTok, talking about the SEC is dead and all of those things, and that what's the conspiracy? Y'all Big Ten folks, bro. Pause if necessary. Y'all Big Ten conference people. Y'all are the most conspiracy theorists folks I've ever seen, including you, Tremaine. Although you ain't got nothing to do with it, you part of it. Talking to me on TikTok, talking about they play the SEC championships. I'm sorry, they play the championships games why don't they play them up north? They play them in the South. Who the fuck is going to Minnesota in mid-January?
Correct.
I don't care if they play in a dome. I'm not going there. I'm going to Dallas. You know why? Because it's 65 degrees. I'm going to Miami. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to Santa Clara, California, aka Los Angeles. I'm going to those places because those are vacation destination spots. How y'all gonna blame the fact that y'all have only won 6 championships in 25 years on geography? No, y'all suck. All y'all Big Ten folks, Big Ten conference folks, all y'all, I don't Pac-2, Pac-12, Big 12, we don't even acknowledge y'all. Y'all out here playing. Y'all can't get mad at the SEC because they were dominant. Be better. Now the NIL, I do say the NIL has definitely and I had to get this off my chest because they were talking greasy to me on TikTok. And I was at work and I couldn't respond. You know how you get pissed off at somebody, you can't respond in the moment, so you just gotta sit there and fester. So I get that the Big Ten and the Pac, whatever y'all gonna be, and the Big 12 and all of that has elevated y'all's rosters to be able to compete with the SEC, and y'all have NIL money. It has spread the talent around, but make no mistake about it, the SEC was still in the championship game. The SEC championship game was better than the national championship game.
Y'all
It was
only looking at football in 2 seasons that haven't been great. SEC champion was in basketball, Florida Gators. Damn near half the field in baseball and basketball is the SEC. And softball. Like it's the SEC is. It might have flattened out a little bit in football, but all that did was ruin the rest of the sports.
Yeah, because basketball, I think they had 10 of the top 15 were SEC schools.
And let me tell you,
y'all pissed off. Big Ten country. Y'all should have stayed in basketball.
Arch Manning and Texas are going to have something to say about that. So,
boy, they're going to score 1,000,000 points a game. Steve Sarkisian going to be throwing the ball backwards.
Right. We talked about the players getting paid. Also, $2.8 billion in back pay. Congratulations. I'm interested to see how far it goes back, but I'm also happy to see the student athletes getting paid for the money that they deserve. Congratulations to you guys, especially somebody out there who working a real job and they're struggling. And then they just found out, we're going to get a check. We're going to get a check.
This is they about to get a check, man. And again, these athletic directors and all of these coaches have gotten uber wealthy, generational changing money, family changing money, class changing money off the backs of these athletes. And then you kind of kick them to the curb. And it was a struggle for athletes to even get insurance policies on their own bodies, but they had to start doing that because if I get hurt, okay, now y'all bring me out so I could, like Marshawn Lattimore is one for me because you just posted him talking about Spurrier. I come and do all of the events and all of those things, and y'all sell my jersey. Y'all own my jersey number that don't have my name on it. Y'all sold $1 billion worth of stuff while I was in school. And now that I'm hurt, it's just like it is.
Danny Werfel. My brother's playing in Florida. That number 7 Danny Werfel jersey was the only jersey that was never not in stock. Every time you see it, Danny. And it was just Gators 7. Boy, talk about somebody who might have funded the entire program. Woo. Y'all, not trying to be funny. Y'all could not send Danny Werfel enough money, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the guy. He was the guy.
And recent enough to be like, oh yeah, Danny was our guy. That jersey was everywhere all the time. Then finally here in college football, go for it.
Ole Miss quarterback Austin Simmons is the guy that graduated high school at 16 with college credits. He is now a 19-year-old college graduate. This is now starting to become the norm when it comes to athletes because you're able to not only go to high school, but you can then homeschool. They go and practice on campuses, and they're able to take some of these classes. And I think I don't know if we talked about it, but like there's programs where you can get your high school degree and an associate's degree. So if you get your associate's degree in the major that you want to get in while you're in high school, you're now showing up to college with 60-something credits towards a 4-year degree. And this is what he did. He's uber smart. Came in and whooped Georgia's ass for 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and that was the end of the game. Lane Kiffin raves about this guy. I think Clemson Syracuse has a similar player that reclassified a couple times. And then now he's like a 20-year-old master's student or something like that. I love that you're using the NCAA to take advantage of this and graduate early. You're probably gonna now he's talking about graduating with a master's degree and or doctorate because now they can pay you directly. You can stay there and finish all your schooling if you wanted to.
This is my only thing, bro, is you already done with school. You should be you should be working football like, no offense, like a job. What you gonna do? Get up at 8 o'clock, go to work out? Like you should be footballing all day and all night.
That was what it is without the money.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I graduated already. I'm done with all of my school. Like I'm sure he's in a graduate program, but we know that that's a whole different like rigor of class. You're not going to sit in class every day. It's just different. You should be doing heavy on the football. The heaviest.
I mean, I'm sure he is. I mean, he's good though. He's a monster.
Right.
He's a monster.
So
but
we're the dealer's choice portion of the program.
So we just finished college football. So now we're gonna go to NFL. You said
wait. We forgot one thing. This is really, really, really big. College football 2026 is coming out, and they've done something really different where they're gonna base the NIL payment depending on how much these teams get played in games. So if there are 100,000 games where Georgia's picked, then that'll be their percentage. So
HBCUs. Oh no, we can't.
Not in the game.
Not in the game.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Right, and I think that's what makes this even more unfortunate is we could definitely manipulate at least as much. We could help, but without that, it's still interesting to see. I mean, this is kind of like it's like the streaming model almost. We're gonna pay you depending on how many plays, like how many times your fans play with your team.
Nobody care about you rolling with ODU. We Hampton. We don't like none of them.
Yeah,
we don't like none of them. Dealer's choice. So shout out to college football. I hate that HBCUs aren't in there at this point.
Right.
You might as well just make your there. What? Yeah, if y'all, I'm gonna age myself. There was an HBCU football game back in the day. Then they showed the bands at halftime, and they did all of that. Maybe we should try to bring that back. NFL dealer's choice. We're gonna run through a couple things. Two things we're gonna just kind of gloss over, and then we're really gonna talk about the Falcons as well. Vikings long snapper Jake McQuaid was forcibly removed from a Catholic mass after he questioned whether a priest had viewed pornography on a parish computer. He demanded answers about allegations that a priest was viewing pornography, and police were then called. Got that man up out of there. Hey, no glizzies on the church property. No glizzies on church.
I'm not, and this is the gentleman in question. I'm okay with this. Now, if there's one place where there should be no pornography access, it's at the church house. And
you said should.
It should not be. No, do not.
It is
do
there.
not. So, different conversation for a different day. I actually respect this, bro. There is no good explanation on why you looking at the Pinot at the church. And yeah, you're gonna have to get me out of here. Jesus went into the temple and flipped tables. He's following the book.
I mean, he is, but it also looked crazy that she called the police. But also, we don't know how old the priest was. But hey, man, do what you do. I ain't really about it. It's the Catholic Church. I mean,
that's they go to.
Let's move on because I was about to get us canceled for real. Hey, Nick Chubb to the Texans. Let's talk about that real quick. Nick Chubb to the Texans.
How?
Oh, Josh, that is That is we gonna show it. We gonna show
No, we not. I just deleted
it.
that. Come on.
You deleted it. Now I can't hide
Yes.
it.
There's the answer to that.
There it is.
And it's gone.
But yeah,
tripping.
Nick Chubb to the Texans. You say how? What do you mean how? Nobody signed him, and now Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon are about to destroy y'all.
No,
They're
for
about to destroy y'all.
$5 million, we could have paid that.
I mean, we're gonna keep Algier. There's no point.
I would rather have Nick Chubb than Algier. Respect to Algier.
Nick Chubb's injury history is the reason why he didn't get signed. Now, it just showed the video on social media, him squatting 600 pounds, and he jumped off a vertical and bumped his head on the ceiling. So, I mean, he's come back from injury before, and when he's right, he is a great power back.
Right
He
as rain.
He is going to, and him and Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon 6'1", like he ain't little. He be running people over too. So like you don't have a long day, especially if they can get. It's a great sign for the Texans. I believe this boosts their offense to a certain extent. How do you feel about this versus the other rumor of he was picking between Houston and Kansas City?
I think it's a little easier transition for Nick Chubb to be the number one in Houston than trying to take.
Oh, you think he's the starting running back? I do not agree. I believe that Mixon is the starting running back.
Oh, okay. We can add a lot
Six
of
pack.
Who tell it?
Stamp. Who is the starting running back on week one?
No. Because week one, hey Joey, we're gonna give you a chance to get this job. If I'm the coach, yeah.
Oh, you saying it's inevitable?
Yeah. He better than you. Now we ain't gonna just dog you
walk
out
you down like
that.
Halliburton.
Yeah, but at the right time, they start doing that. Hey, come on out the field, son. Come on. They start doing that way. Oh shit! He took my job. He's gonna take your job. He is gonna take your job. But if there's a person to lose the job to, it is Nick Chubb. And I mean, the other part is he do be getting hurt, so you could get your job back. And this
back, you be right there week 14.
Yeah, and this does. I mean, this makes you guys treacherous. I mean,
now what I want to know, because I don't know if he's still on the team, but there is a world where if they do sign Chubb and the Falcons do have to trade Algier for whatever reason, you could go get Dameon Pierce. He is going to be on the trading block for somewhere from Houston because they're
right.
He's too good to be your third or fourth back. It's not going to happen. So you could go get Dameon Pierce, and he had a hell of he's kind of like Algier. He had a hell of a rookie season, and then they just kind of faded away from him.
I mean, I get it too. I can understand how you look at this situation and say, "Oh, I gotta have." Yeah, Joe Mixon, great, but I mean, when Nick Chubb is right, he's in that Saquon, Derrick Henry.
He's been a top 5 back pretty much every year he's been.
Don't get mad when I say this, but when he's right, he's better than Bijan.
Yeah, I mean, proof of concept. But I mean, I think Bijan probably overtakes him this year if he takes another step. But I think Chubb, when he first came in the league, bro, I mean, shit, he almost took Cleveland to the playoffs. Him.
Yeah, and I think that in a role with another capable guy, it makes him infinitely more dangerous because he don't have to take all the reps. And we've seen what he did with Kareem. He's
Kareem
not a
Hunt.
guy who, I don't have to have all the reps and all of that. I can just take my spots and let me get out. Let me get a little bit of air. Let Joe do his thing. And then I'm gonna come in there and go
They
ahead
should
and
also
night.
relieve pressure on CJ as well, because you can now run the play action. The play action, and that also kind of hide the loss of Tank Dell too.
Well, the thing is Laramie Tunsil is also gone. So they're like, oh, well, their offensive line ain't the same either, which is if you
run the ball.
Right. Which should help stabilize things for really CJ more than anything is, hey, if things get really bad, bro, we can still kind of slow it down and control time of possession and make this a thing. Next up, we talk about.
So let's get to the Falcons. This is all Falcons talk. Falcons talk.
So
Falcons talk. I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll it all in there. Talking about A-Rod, right? I'm gonna roll it all in there. So Atlanta Falcons, we have been trying to get off Kirk Cousins off the books for a while. Part of the teams, or a couple teams that allegedly he had ties to, was Cleveland. Then they drafted 2 quarterbacks and signed 2 quarterbacks, which is surprising. Then it was Pittsburgh and New Orleans. New Orleans drafted Tyler Show. Derek Carr has retired. And then there's also Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was rumored to get Aaron Rodgers, but we never knew, because Aaron Rodgers be crazy as fuck in the offseason. So it was always hope that we could trade Kirk Cousins. And I think I said it in a reel, hey, what if we trade Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts? Because Kyle Pitts is allegedly on the trading block too, and Arthur Smith likes him, even though Arthur Smith sabotaged him. Like, what if we do Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins to Pittsburgh? And all of these things happened, and then literally the next day, Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh. And I was like, ugh. So that means Kirk Cousins is probably going to stay here until somebody gets hurt. But Aaron Rodgers to the Pittsburgh for 1 year, $10 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just think that. So you're right. This does kind of dry up the Kirk Cousins market for the foreseeable future, which at the end of the day is kind of sad, but I'm also still okay with having a perfectly competent backup quarterback. I think that, for whatever reason, things happen. Prayerfully, we don't have to go to him. It is a good asset that, hey, somebody's this is football. We've never seen a season where no quarterbacks get hurt. Somebody's going to need a quarterback, and we're going to have one waiting on you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it's not the worst thing to have an extra of.
It's just so much money. We were trying to get off the money, but I mean, Pittsburgh, look, this is also, let me tell you something. There's 2 people who could be at the end of their career if this doesn't work out. Not career, but end of their job. Aaron Rodgers, maybe 3. Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, and Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith, you will be over with. Aaron Rodgers, you can ride off into the valley, and Mike Tomlin, that will give them the excuse to move on from you. So I think this is a misguided Hail Mary.
Yeah, I think
it is what it is.
I think this is a bad idea. I think it's a terrible idea, honestly. I would never. Aaron Rodgers is going to hijack your organization. You can put your head in the sand and act like it's not going to happen. It is, and the bad part is, everybody's going to say, "I told you so." We literally saw this happen. Your quarterback
over and over again.
Yeah. So when it happens, nobody's going to feel bad for you, and they're going to fire people. So. And I mean, y'all ain't gonna win anything with him either. So it is what it is, as far as I'm concerned with you guys. Best of luck, and I don't mean that in a way that matters.
Boy, right. That locker room will be terrible.
This is gonna be the purge. It's gonna be over. Everything they just gonna clear it out. Get you a new coach. You had Tomlin for umpteen seasons.
He gonna go right to Minnesota,
right?
as an analyst or whatever. Man, so
hey now. Depending on how this season go, might be hiring. Might be hiring. You might be able to come right on down here to Atlanta.
Oh, so we missed out on trading Kirk Cousins to Pittsburgh, which was cool, but we did get some exciting news. The Falcons defense, in my opinion, for all y'all TikTokers and all y'all out there social media be getting so butthurt about my opinion that we need a cornerback too. I do like Mike Hughes, but Mike Hughes and D. Alford and Clark Phillips should all be them DBs like in Kansas City, where they just play everywhere. They play safety, they play corner, they play dime, they play linebacker sometimes. They just need to rotate. We need a guy opposite AJ Terrell to lock down the outside. Jair Alexander is 27 years old. He's not old he'll be 28. He's not old at all. Now he has battled some injuries, and I think the front office, the brass from Green Bay said, well, the fact that he got hurt and we kept winning is what kind of inspired this move. Instead of it kind of gave us a leg to stand on in negotiations for contracts. So they were fully out, released him, and I would love to see him sign with the Falcons. He's already linked to 8 teams. All of them are cornerback needy, including the Falcons. Would you take a flyer on him?
Yes, but for me, I mean, maybe. My thing isn't necessarily is it Jair Alexander specifically, but it's these guys who are left. Rasul Douglas is left. Jair Alexander is left. Asante Samuel is left. Mike Hilton is left.
Howard. Yep.
Yeah. Just one of those guys, I feel like, hey, man, get closer and closer to the regular season. This is where you got to have somebody who can at least go get one of those guys. Is Darius Smith still available?
The thing is, I don't want them to wait. I don't want them to wait to the season. We got a playbook. We got a second year rookie quarterback. Essentially, play 3 games.
Right.
We have. You have to come in here and get acclimated.
Yeah, right? But that's where I'm a little bit okay with maybe those guys who have been in the system, kind of doing the early heavy lifting. I just need when we get to mid to end of the season, hopefully playoffs, for you to be ready. At the beginning of the season, I think those guys can do enough to kind of carry us. But what we need is hey, get in there, learn the playbook,
get in there,
and then get to it when we really need it. That's the biggest thing. We got enough to kind of carry us through the first couple weeks, but a month in, we need you to be physically and mentally locked in for us to, because Tampa Bay ain't gonna give it to us. I want to make that very clear.
And they got 4 wide receivers down there,
right?
Plus 2 backs, and Baker Mayfield, who pissed off at all y'all.
And Cade Otton at tight end. They're not playing with us, and if Falcons, you're gonna have to earn the NFC South any way you put it. So
I should think be good though, but it'll be fun. I would like to see.
I'm not even against Von Miller. Go get him. Try him.
I would like to see Jair Alexander or Asante Samuel Jr. turn out to be our cornerback number 2. I don't know if I do like Jalen Ramsey, but you're gonna have to trade, and we ain't got nothing to trade because we cut everybody else.
Kirk. Miami.
No, they signed a quarterback or drafted a quarterback.
I don't. Miami Dolphins depth chart. I think they did. You're right. They got a guy who was
Zach Wilson and Quinn.
Oh. Who and who?
That you say that until it's 30 million. Now you got a $30 million quarterback that can't take hits in the head, and you got a $30 million quarterback that can't take hits in the leg.
It wouldn't be 30. We would be asking to see if they could pay like 7, 8. Just give us some reprieve. We know we're not
give us 15.
You're not getting 15. No.
Well, why you think? I think Pittsburgh would have jumped at the thought of paying $7 million for Kirk, and we take 23, whatever. I don't think Atlanta is trying to pay 23 million. Either you take Kirk Cousins in half, or we'll just pay him, and
No, because
that'll
I
be
think
that.
they want. I think they want him out of there, so it's not like the quarterback controversy. Oh, if Penix doesn't start out flaming hot, oh, are you gonna go back to Kirk? So
Well,
I
they
think
playing
that
a good game of chicken because they ain't doing nothing.
they ain't blinking. They ain't blinking, and they ain't talking, and I respect that.
Yep, but that is the Falcons news. We could kind of talk about it if you want. I mean, if you want to freestyle, there's literally nothing else to talk about.
Nothing.
It's off season. Not OTAs.
Minicamp
Mandatory minicamp starts,
and Kirk will
next
be there.
week.
Yeah,
He
Kirk
better.
Cousins
They
expected
said
to be.
he.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
a big number if you don't show up. And I'm sure they'd be happy not to pay you anything they don't have to. So, and I mean, at the end of the day, Kirk is a professional. He is Mr. Do what
You
I'm
did
supposed
luck
to.
out. If you were gonna have a quarterback controversy, you would want Kirk Cousins to be in a controversy
Right.
versus anybody else because he's not going to
Exactly.
be outspoken.
Right.
But with that being said, we come to the end of episode 194 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe. Norwood, if we ain't miss anything, take us out.
Man, it has been quite the controversy. I'm never gonna say the possibility of a quarterback controversy if Penix struggles. I mean, the biggest thing about that is our coach could be fired. Raheem has to do whatever he has to do to keep himself from being fired. And if we don't win the NFC South,
GM, offensive, everybody gone.
Control, Alt, delete. So yeah, you might have to do something different if you try. You'll do anything to keep your job when you really want to keep it. So I could understand how that could be a thing. But number one, more black baseball. Number two, keep HBCUs lifted in prayer right now. It's a lot of battles to be fought. We fighting them all across the board, on the front end, on the back end, wherever they are. Keep us strengthened right now. Number three, the historical black college.
Tally ho.
God, you messed me up. The historical black college university. Your cousin went to, your auntie went to, your uncle went to, your best friend went to. Send some money over there and support them. The historically black college university in your neighborhood, the one you go to for homecoming, step shows, to put your boots on the ground, as y'all have so affectionately become in love with. Send some money over there. You sucking up and set out.
Every week.
I hate it. Y'all go drink up the liquor. Y'all go eat up the chicken. Y'all do all of that. Least y'all could do is send some money to the school. HBCUs would appreciate that. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. Once again, shout out to the athletes on the Dean's List, 87.5, if my memory serves me right. We asked for $18.68 on behalf of the year the university was founded. Outside of that, we are out of here. Adios, mi amigos. God is love. Until we meet again. Arrivederci. You saw the confetti. We out this joint. Oh, I got to do it. And yeah, hit like, follow, subscribe, hit us in the DMs. We always open for conversation. Comment on TikTok, being ready, trying to do a better job of being active. All of those places.
Oh, I be active. I be cussing people out. Y'all want to debate some stuff in social media comments? We out there. I be out there on TikTok. I'm in these streets. Let me know. I can tell you stupid.
Fair enough. Until we meet again, y'all be safe. We out.
Peace.
Stream.